Hey everyone! Welcome to a new Let's Play series with me, your host Tim. And today, we will occasionally begin playing through Dune Imperium together. There'll be some prep here that you can skip by adjusting the slider up here on YouTube to the appropriately segmented spot, in case you don't want to me prattle on about this game for a little bit. We're going to talk about what type of game Dune Imperium is. We're going to talk about if I played it before, how far I got it, assuming I did. Any tisms I'll do as Tim plays this game, which is to say things Tim will do that maybe other people do not do, and what's inspired me to play this game. Should take maybe 5 minutes or so. If you're fine with that, well, here we go. If not, hopefully you skipped ahead already. Let's go ahead and start. Dune Imperium, the video game we are about to play, is based on the physical board game of the same name, with the same gameplay mechanics. We will be playing, in particular, the Dune Imperium Uprising DLC, which changes quite a bit about how the game works. As such, you should be warned that if you do like what you see and you go and pick up Dune Imperium, note that you will not have the same game I have unless you also buy the Uprising DLC as well. This game is a worker placement deck building game, and it would take too long for me to just chat about it here. So we will instead make it too long by this first video in particular showing how to play the game and trying my best to cover all of the gameplay mechanics. God help us all. This is going to take a while, so hopefully you guys don't mind that. I have played Dune Imperium, its various DLCs, and Uprising for quite a bit. But I've only played against AI. I guess I've joined 2 lobbies, but most of my time has spent with the AI because, well, I just like it and I lose pretty often. I am not the best player at this. However, Uprising I have greatly enjoyed, more so than the base game and its DLCs, and I will be throwing my hat into the ranked arena when the next season starts, which I think is in a few days or maybe a week from now. And as such, I thought it'd be fun to record myself playing the game. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to see how well Tim does in ranked for Dune Imperium. I doubt I'll be able to record every single game, but I'll try to record a few of them to show my wins and losses. Expect more losses than wins. As such, obviously, as I have said, I have played this game, and I have beaten the game. I tend to have about a 75% win rate against medium difficulty AI, which doesn't bode too well for Tim in the future. But let the record show how well we do or not going forward. I'm inspired by this because it has been a long time, viewer, since I have done any multiplayer games of any particular stripe. Man, not really. I've done like maybe 2 lobby games of Dune Imperium Uprising. It has, like before that, viewer, it was TF2 or Unreal Tournament back when I was in college in the year like 1999. Good God, it's been a long time. So I thought it'd be fun to record myself playing online. For tisms, in particular, you should note that I often won't do the best thing. I like trying to win with leaders that many people would probably consider weaker, and use cards that people consider to be weaker too. I have this weird habit of seeing if I can try to eke out a victory, even if things are weaker than they should be. I've had this attitude with every single competitive game I've ever played. Every single miniature game I've played, board games I've played, video games I've played in the past, everything. I tend not to take the best things. I don't know why I feel that I must do this, but I like doing it. And I'm always surprised when I do manage a win. So you should be aware of that for tisms. However, other than that, there's nothing else to talk about. This game has no lore associated with it. You could know nothing about Dune whatsoever and be perfectly fine playing this game. You don't need to know anything. In that regard, there's no lore at all even on any of the cards or board spaces. There's very little of it, if I recall correctly, in the instruction manual I have for the actual game that's sitting over there on my shelf. So as such, we won't really be talking about Dune at all, as there's no real reason to. Just the gameplay mechanics, and then we'll see how well we do. I will talk about why I am making the choices I am making, but it will probably be a very abridged version of it when I play on Ranked. assuming that I talk about my decisions as I am playing, and not afterwards. This is because the online version of the game is timed, as opposed to when we verse the AI, and that is why, in particular for this video, we will only be versing the AI because it gives me a chance to explain everything, which is going to take a while, and we would never be able to do it if we were playing other players for the first video at the very least. With all that said, there are 2 more things to mention before we get going. Number 1, if you do like what you see, and you decide you want to play online, know that this does not use Steam servers, but Direwolf Digital's, I think, own servers host it. And as such, you will need to make an account with Direwolf Digital. I myself was torn on whether or not I wanted to do this, but decided to go ahead and do so anyway. I generally am not a fan of making another account with another company to play online when I already have a Steam account. I don't want another account. But there you go. Playing against an AI opponents, though, do not require you being online, and this was also one of the reasons why I didn't play against other players until just recently. I didn't want to make another account, but I have taken the jump and done so. However, be aware that when you buy this game on Steam, I was unaware that this occurs, and when you actually go online to play, you will be forced to sign a EULA. I do not like this EULA. It states in particular that I do not own this game, but I have a limited, non-exclusive, non-transferable license in which I can play the game, and it can be removed from me if Direwolf Digital decides I should not be allowed to play it again, for reasons outlined within that EULA. I generally do not like those things, but as long as I suppose I don't kill anybody online, I think it will be fine. That was a joke. That was a joke. That was a joke. This is not... I mean, granted, that we will be fighting other players, as it were, because of the conflicts in this game, but nothing so direct. It's a joke. It's a joke. All right. If you don't like EULAs, or you don't want to make an account for this game, and you don't want to watch this video, by all means, viewer, thank you for showing up and watching the little bit that you did, and by all means, I totally get you, man. I totally understand. And hopefully I'll see you in a different game that I am uploading a series for. Otherwise, viewer, I'm going to put a break here so I know when I stopped this part of the video, and we'll be back to actually start the game. Give me a second. Alright guys, let's go ahead and square off against some AI opponents that I have a questionable win rate against. So here we go, viewer. We're going to select versus AI, as it is the most accurate depiction of what it will be like for us to square off against human opponents in the future. Challenges, though, if you're curious, are other modes at which the game can be played. They tweak how the game plays in ways that you cannot do against other human opponents online. They make it tougher for you to get points and what have you, or you can only place workers by spending resources or something of the sort. Just be aware that, if you uninstall the game, you lose all the completion that you had done in these challenges, and they are not stored in the Steam cloud. I had been playing the game on one of my computers, put it on this one to do the recording at, realized that the challenges are not over here, put the game back on the other computer, and I lost all the challenges I completed. So just keep that in mind. Don't uninstall the game if you want to occasionally click on challenges and admire how many of them you beat. Alright, now with that said, let's go ahead and begin the game. To begin with, we get a choice of what color we want to be. It makes no impact on you whatsoever. You can also square off against 2 or 3 total opponents. In ranked play, we will be squaring off against 3 human opponents the vast majority of the time. Or I think 100% of the time, at least at the start of the game. So we will square off against 3 computer opponents here. We then get to choose which core set to use. In the real world, the games were the base game of Dune Imperium and its 2 expansions, Rise of Ix and Immortality. Uprising was then another type of base game that was not truly meant to be played with the base game itself, nor the Rise of Ix or Immortality. But we do have the option of playing it with these in the digital version of the game. I guess you can in the normal game too, if you possess them. Nothing stops you from trying. And you can do so here. We will be playing Uprising today, because that is what ranked will be, I think. And I would like more practice in it, so that's what we're going to do. We have the option, though, of selecting these if we so desired, but we won't do so. I do really like these inclusions. I think Direwolf did a great job by including them and doing their best to allow you to use as many of them as possible. But it does make it a very... I don't know what the word is I want to use here. Interesting game when you start including other things within it. Variants are not expansions, but other ways to play the game that can be applied to any mixture of these. Normally, the game ends at 10 victory points. There's a mode where you can play for 11 instead. There's also an epic mode, in which, as you can see, you start with more cards, and your deck is a little tweaked, and I think you might even get starting resources, for example. But because I'm imagining that ranked will not start with either of those, we will try just the base game. For AI difficulty, viewer, we're gonna leave it at medium. I know everyone who plays this game regularly is shaking their heads, but viewer, I'm not the best at this, but I do still like winning. And so the computer might occasionally make simple, silly mistakes, especially when it comes to combat decisions. I am fine with it doing that, viewer, because I make silly, stupid mistakes all the freaking time. This music seems like it's really loud all of a sudden. Anyway, we're gonna play on medium. For leader selection, our choices are random, in which we are assigned which leader we want to use, or rather we are going to use. Standard, in which we are given the choice between two leaders that are randomly chosen for us, and we pick one. Or draft. Because all the ranked games I have seen use draft, we will select draft, and we'll explain what this means in about 6 seconds. All right, here we go. Oh, this is interesting. Interesting indeed. All right, guys. The first thing we have to do, well, I guess the first thing we should do is describe what we see in front of us. First off, this is a deck builder. Everyone starts with the same deck consisting of 10 cards with one exception. One player starts with 9. He's short one of those cards. But that leader is not present here for us to pick, and so we don't have to worry about talking about the deck of cards right away. Every leader displayed here on this screen has these hexagons first shown, along with their name. The hexagons only are there to tell you how difficult this leader is to play, how their mechanics interact with the game, with some being more complex than others. Lady Jessica should honestly be a 3. It should warn players, hey, she's a 3. She's really hard to use. It doesn't mean necessarily that leader is better than other players, than other leaders, just that they are more complicated and require probably a little more experience with the game before you can actually begin winning with them on the regular. Every leader also has some sort of passive attribute in which they will be able to do something special or gain some sort of special resource or perk when they meet certain objectives. For example, Princess Irulian. When she gets 2 Necron faces, she gets a eye card. for example. Paul here, during his reveal turn, if he has one or more sandworms in the conflict, he also gets one of these weird-looking like black hole or eye cards that we see here. Well, I know what all the names are, obviously, viewer. We'll talk, but right now, this is all you know if you've never seen this game before. Every leader has a ring card. What that ring card does is unique to that particular leader. Muad'Dib's ring card has this green rectangle on it. Princess Irulian has like a paragraph of text, and it has a big ore in it to let you know you can do multiple things. This Shaddam Corino IV also has an ore, and he looks like there's some gray circles with numbers in them, and there's a square cube, and there's this diamond with a question mark in it, with like a golden cap on top of it. That looks really complex. For our purposes, though, I think we'll start by choosing Princess Irulian as our leader. Okay, and we'll talk about what all this nonsense means when we play. There's a few other things to mention about draft mode. There are 8 total leaders available total in this DLC. When you play draft, 6 of those 8 are displayed to be chosen. 2 weren't picked. You cannot use them. We are choosing our leader last, which means we will take the first turn for the first round. That's important because that might impact which leader you are deciding to choose as well. And there is some benefits to going in a particular, like going second compared to first. It can matter. But at the end of the day, there's still a good amount of RNG that is in this game. You should not discount that. This is not chess. It is not checkers. And we'll talk more about that in the future. You do not necessarily win on your own merit, even if you make the most fantastic plays. There's a saying, I'd rather be lucky than good. And that is certainly the case. That's certainly the case here. I'd rather get every card I need, and my opponent not get any of the cards that they want, than for me to just know how to play the best I can with whatever garbage I have in my hand. So keep that in mind. We'll talk more about that going forward. The last thing I would like to talk about before we begin is this button up here. This button is very important because it shows you what is going to be laid out for you when you play the game. All the knowledge in particular that you will want to know before you begin. And actually, maybe we want to pick a different hero. We will think about this. In particular, these two things here are called contracts. This is the Imperium row, and the cards in the lower section of it are randomly drawn from a deck. This is going to be a really, there are some really sought after cards here. I see two that everybody wants. It's these two with these 8s on them. Everybody will want these. Everyone. You want them. You want both of them, but not everyone can get them. Some people might be able to get them on the first round, but that's going to be really tricky to do. And I don't think we can do it with any of the heroes that we have. So anyway, that button exists as well. Now with all that said, I think we've covered this particular screen. Let's go ahead and start. Takes a few seconds if you've pressed that button to show everything. I don't know why it does, but it does. Okay. Now everything sounds too quiet. now everything sounds too quiet. All right, let's go ahead and up some things again. Okay, let's do this. All right, viewers. Here we are. We're staring at the game itself. Let's try to cover everything that we see and how generally everything works. This is going to take some time. If you already know how to play this game, I mean, I apologize, but I'm going to cover everything. If I get everything wrong or I forget to cover anything, also, please let me know. And I'll try my best to, upload a small video after this. But we're going to do 2 of these, so hopefully I will remember everything. If not in this particular game, the second game. We will not cover all the mechanics again in depth as we are about to do in the second game. We'll play it, and I will cover anything I missed. Let's get started. Over here on the left-hand side of the screen are the various players' tableaus. What is available to us, what we see, is a little different than what we see on our opponent's side, but we will cover our tableau first. First off, over here is the first player token. After every round is over, the first player token will move to the next player. Player 2 gets it. And in round 2, that player will take first turn, and we will be going last, as we took first turn. The order currently is me as Princess Aurelian, then Fade Rotha Harkonnen, then first player will move to Lady Jessica on round 3, and round 4 will be Lady Margaret Fenring, and then we are back to first player on round 5. This is our current earned victory points. You do start with 1 victory point, so you must earn 9 in order to trigger the game to end at the end of the last round. We'll talk more about that in the future. Everyone starts with a conflict symbol of one of 2 random types, a desert mouse or a Chris knife. We'll talk about this in a little bit. Everyone starts with agents. These are what you use in order to claim resources available to you someplace on the board. Everyone gets a chance to do that twice, and when your agents or possibly more than that, depending. There are some special things that can allow you to take more turns. But at the beginning of the game, we have 2 actions, effectively, to do. Down here are our resources. Resources are spice, solari, and water. They must be paid in order to do particular things. The cylinders here represent spies. We'll cover spies in a bit. This number is the number of cards we have left in our deck. You're always allowed to see what cards remain in your deck, but you do not know the order at which you will draw them. This is our discard pile. You are always allowed to know what is in it as well. Down here are the cards that we drew for our current hand. At the beginning of a new round, every player draws 5 random cards from the top of their deck. If your deck did not have enough cards to draw from, then you reshuffle your discard pile if you had one, and then draw cards from it up until you reach your max of 5. Whenever you must draw cards from your pile, and you do not have them, you will reshuffle your discard pile at that point, and then create a new deck with it. There is some strategy involved in this, but we will talk more about that later, perhaps. Over here are contracts. We will talk more about them if we decide we want to go for any of them. And down over here are cards that make up the Imperium row. We will talk more about these when it's time for us to go ahead and make purchases for them, though I might make a few decisions based upon what is available to us before then. Now, how do we take a turn? Oh, we also have this skirmish. This card showed itself to us at the beginning of the round. We will talk more about the skirmish when we begin our next turn. It is important to talk about. You definitely want to know what's going on here, but my first turn won't be spent attempting to get involved in that. All right, well, let's talk now about these other board spaces. Note that these spaces are color coordinated. We have a bunch of green cards green spaces up here. This is the actually, and this I think are included in what I'm about to say. These are the Landsrod spaces. Most of them are green, some are yellow. Down here, these are spots on the planet of Arrakis that are habitated by people. These are maker spaces, so named because of the makers, the Arrakis worms that we see here. Note there's lots of symbols on these. We're about to talk about those. And over here are different yet places on the board. These are called faction spaces. To take a turn, in order to gain what resources you want from these spots, you must first play a matching card from your hand. And by matching, I mean that the symbol on a card on its left-hand side must match the spot on the board that we see. So for example, if I wanted to go to this spot here, called Gather Support, part of the Landsrod area, then I must play a card that has that green pentagon on it. Green pentagons, yellow triangles, blue circles. Over here, we have Necron faces, infinity symbols, purple glasses, and, I don't know what this is. some sort of volleyball-like thing here. This is the Emperor, the Guild, the Bene Gesserit, and the Fremen. Our dagger, for example... Oh, and note that certain things are also highlighted. That's the game telling you you have the capability of getting to that space by doing something by using one of the cards that you have in your hand. Our dagger, for example, can go to either of these spaces. Some spaces, you might know, aren't highlighted. This is because even though we might have a card with a matching symbol on it, we do not possess other requirements that spot might require. For example, this Bene Gesserit spot here requires us to also have 1 spice, and we will pay that. It will come out of our reserves when we go there with a card. Seek Allies, for example, oh my goodness, I'm not speaking very well, allows us to go to that spot, but we can't because we need 1 spice first. Some spots also have this 2 symbol on it, in addition to having that symbol, or rather another symbol on it. This means that in order to go here, you must have 2 rank with that faction. When playing a card with a faction symbol on it to a faction space, you will gain 1 rank with that faction, moving your token up 1 space. You must be on the 2nd level of the track in order to go to Sich Tabar, Imperial Privilege, or Shipping. Alright. Some of these spots give you a choice as to what you want to do. Our dagger, for example, if we played it here, gives us 2 cubes. If we had 2 Solari, then we had the option to spend 2 Solari to gain 2 cubes and also gain 1 water. When you go to a spot, any of the spots, you can also undo your turn, down here with this button. But you cannot undo your turn if new information becomes available to you or to the game board. What do I mean by that? For our first turn, I think we will play Seek Allies and go here to gain a contract. We play our Seek Allies to this spot. Next, we choose this symbol. Oh, I guess we should mention that. So, as I mentioned, when you play a card with one of those symbols to a faction spot, you will raise 1 rank with that faction. You must do this by clicking this button, or the button that will show up associated with that faction track. Next, we will draw a contract, which is what this particular card means. And we'll pick Deliver Supplies. Now, note that the undo button is grayed out. This is because, although we drew this card into our... Oh, I didn't cover this. Into our tableau, which is listed down here, this number means the contracts that we have that we are trying to complete, and the contracts that we have completed over here. We have 1 contract, we have completed no contracts currently. A new contract was drawn and placed up here. We can now not undo our action. You're not allowed to reshuffle the contract deck and put it back in there because you made an oopsie. You're forced to stick with that information. Some other things to note about your cards, and then we'll talk more about our opponent's tableaus. I completely forgot to cover that. Your cards tell you where they can go. Some cards, like our Seek Allies for example, have some text on them in that, I'm going to call it beigeish area, where you can see a slight agent symbol over there on the left. That occurs when you play the card from your hand to the board. Seek Allies in this instance says trash this card. We can click on our deck to bring this up here. And this covers the cards in your deck, what you've discarded, what contracts you have, and what is trashed. Trashed cards are removed from your deck for the rest of the game. You will never see them again. And as such, Seek Allies is a once-only card. We cannot use this again in the future. Our Signet Ring says that if we use this, which we will do next turn, we can gain a card over here that costs 1 of those blue diamonds. We'll cover that in a bit. Or we can trash a card from our hand. And if we trash a card from our hand, and it had any blue diamond cost with it, then we will earn 2 spice for doing so. Note that cards also have that blue section under the part that has the text. At the end of your turn, when you decide to reveal, either because you cannot place any more agents onto the board, or because you're deciding I don't want to put any more agents on the board, then you will tally up the total number of that blue that you possess, and that is your persuasion. Persuasion is the currency that you use to purchase cards over here. These cards will be added to your discard pile, although some might be added to your hand depending upon how you go about it, and they'll be available for future when your deck is finally reshuffled. What's up here, this symbol, says that if you were to reveal right now, which we can't do because we played an agent to the board, then you would earn 4 persuasion and 1 sword. We'll cover what swords means coming up. The cost of purchasing cards is listed above them. For example, how do I even say her name? Shisakali is 4 persuasion. Delivery Agreement is 5 persuasion. These are obviously 8. We have 4. Most cards in your starting deck give you 1, so it is very difficult for you to acquire cards that cost 8 at the beginning of the game. For our opponent's tableaus, by the way, it's a little different for them. We still get most of the same information. However, there's, I think, 3 other things you should be aware of. First, whether or not you are fighting an AI or an actual human player. This little monitor means we're facing up against a computer. This is important to kind of know because when you play online, people may be having a really bad day and decide to relax with some Dune Imperium. And they're not having a good game of Dune Imperium either, and they just bow out and quit. If they do that, then the AI will take over for them. We will definitely see that at some point, but we will not do it. Even if we get last at every one of these. By God, we're not going to do it. Never give up, viewer. Fight to the end. Or just give up, but be a good sport and just don't throw in the towel. Their card, this number, is not the cards in their deck, but what's in their hand instead. If you click on one of your opponents, you can see what they have played, what's in their discard, but you can't see what their deck consists of. I kind of wish you could, since the game does have a log about what cards they purchased, so you can write it all down, but I suppose like in real life, you've seen people buy things, but you might not remember it, so maybe that's okay. And finally we have this, which are intrigue cards, which is this here, this symbol. Intrigue cards are vastly different than the cards that you have in your normal deck that you'll be using most of the game. We will eventually get an intrigue card, and we'll talk about them then. There's quite a bit more to cover when it comes to spots that we can go to. We'll try to cover it as we go to those spots. Although maybe we should do it now? Let's cover a few things now. The gray cubes are your troops. When you pick up troops by going to a spot, they are generally added into your reserves here, and not added into the current conflict. This represents the troops you have in your holdings, either, I guess, in space or on the planet's surface or something of the sort, but they're not committed to fighting. This is obviously water. Green rectangles mean you get to draw a card when you go to that spot. Be careful, if you go to a spot where you draw a card, sometimes the game just makes you draw the card, and then you don't get a chance to undo. Be sure you want to go there. It seems inconsistent to me, and I've put some feedback in for that for them. But once again, if you draw a card, you've got information. You can't undo that information. You can't unknow something, and you can't undo your turn by going there. Obviously, this gives you Solari, 5 Solari in that case. These spots give you spice. This token here is the shield wall. We'll talk more about that in the future when it becomes more relevant. These are worms. Everyone wants worms. We'll cover worms later. There's actually multiple worms, and there's other symbols like these crossed swords here, and this strange symbol, and this also strange symbol here. So lots of stuff going on. You might notice as well these eyeballs, we'll cover those later, and note that this deliver supplies has a red circle on it. That's because we have a contract. I suppose we'll talk about contracts really quick. You earn what's displayed as a contract reward, in this case the 3 in the gray circle. We will earn 3 Solari when we go to that spot. This spot, for example, Highliner, if you go to the note over there on the left-hand side of the screen, it highlights very brightly Highliner. You have to go here if you want to earn 2 extra troops, or 2 extra water by going there. Okay, I think that's good. Intrigues, by the way, are always hidden from everybody else. No one will know what intrigues you have. There is a way to take people's intrigue cards. I guess we'll cover that really quick. That's this symbol here. This says that if anybody has 3 or more intrigue cards, and you go to this spot, you steal one of those intrigue cards from every player that has more than 3. So if Fade Rotha had 5 cards, Lady Jessica had 4, and Lady Fenring had 1, and we went there, we would take 1 card from Fade Rotha and 1 from Lady Jessica. Okay, hopefully we covered some of the basics reasonably well. Let's go ahead and end our turn and let the AI take its turns. Sorry, I want the audio a little louder. Okay, I guess we get a chance to talk about intrigues a little bit more. Intrigues come in one of 3 different flavors: plots, combat, or endgame. We will get one, and then you will begin to see what I'm talking about. Plots can be used at any point before combat has begun, and not during the endgame. Endgame cards apply their effects at the very end of the game's resolution, when you are beginning to see who won the game. It's over, but those intrigues can come in and let you earn extra victory points if you completed what they're asking you to do. Combat is a way to increase your combat strength during conflicts. Okay, we'll see that for sure up ahead. Now, I forgot to mention, by the way, for our hand, we have a reconnaissance, our signet ring, which we absolutely want to play, a dagger, and a convincing argument. Note that convincing argument does not have any symbols on it. This means that we cannot play it to move an agent anywhere on the board. It sits in our hand, but it does, that's the only thing it does, but it does give us 2 persuasion when we reveal during our reveal turn. Okay, so I think what we should do is show how combat works, so we will get involved in that for a bit. Let's use our signet ring, and we'll go here to this spot. Okay. Now, game, you are so inconsistent. Viewer, this is my 4th time recording this particular series of videos. I have already spent 10 hours of my life trying and failing to record this video. And going here, then the last time I attempted it, the game immediately drew me a card. I didn't even get this little symbol. Normally, you will get this symbol. Right now, I can hit undo. We would get our agent back into our tableau, and we wouldn't have gone here. But, at the moment, once again, we draw that card, we will have gone here. Let's start by drawing a card. It's another dagger card. Okay. Now, and as you can see, you can always choose the order at which you wish to resolve things. That may matter greatly, by the way. We could go, if we had some way to earn a spice, and then we went to a spot that allowed us to spend a spice to earn something, like for example here, we could go here, burn an intrigue card to earn a spice, and then sell the spice to gain money, I think. But anyway, it's just something to note. All right, so let's go ahead and trash a card from our hand. And we're only going to have 3 persuasion. Okay, so my choice is a dagger to dump it, or, well, obviously it's saying the cards in our hand. I'm sorry, I'm just baffling now. I think I'm going to drop our reconnaissance from our hand. I'm intending to get involved into this conflict, and 2 daggers might be really handy to help us during the fight. So we'll scrap this card instead. It is now trashed. We can undo that, but the moment we end our turn, that card is trashed. We can never get it out of our trash again. Now, because this space has these crossed swords on it, we are allowed to contribute troops to the battle. Only if you go to spaces like this, or you have some sort of special card that says you can do it anyway, are you allowed to throw troops into the fight. You are allowed to throw up to 2 troops into the fight, plus the amount of troops you earned by going to a space. Because this space earned us 1 troop, it was added to our reserves, we can deploy up to 3 troops to the battle, if we so desire. I think if we add 3 troops, plus we have 2 daggers, we would have enough combat strength to probably win this fight. And since this fight has a mouse symbol, we really want to win. In fact, let's talk about fighting for a little bit. The winner of the battle is the one who has the most combat strength when the battle is resolved. Every troop you commit to the battle gives you 2 combat strength. So Fade, with his 1, has 2. Us, with our 3, have 6. These 2 are not yet involved in the fight and have none. When we reveal, in other words, we'll earn the persuasion to purchase cards, In addition to the persuasion we earn, any swords that we have in our hand will be added to the combat strength we have in the fight. If we had no troops in the battle, swords in our hand do not matter. These swords, if we had nothing, these 2 swords contribute nothing. You have no combat strength, not 2. So because we have 2 swords, I kind of really want to fight. So thus we're going to do so. The winner of the battle obviously earns first place. Second obviously earns second, and so on down the line. In this instance, as you can see, well, in every instance, you earn the rewards as shown. In particular, though, for us, for this battle, and why I am willing to commit 3 troops to it, we will earn that desert mouse symbol. When you have 2 symbols that match, you score a victory point for doing so. The symbols are a crysknife, a desert mouse, an ornithopter, and a question mark symbol. The question mark symbol, if you still have it at the end of the game and have not matched it with another symbol, will automatically match any other symbol that you have earned that you also do not have a match for. We'll talk more about that. The question mark almost always shows up, and so we'll talk more about that in depth later. If you tie with an opponent, then you both earn the next rank down and push anyone else there down 1 rank further. If Fade was able to add 2 more troops to this fight, and somehow is also, let's say he has 2 daggers in his hand, so we tie at 8, then we don't earn this, neither does he. We instead both earn the 2nd rank. And if Lady Jessica was in the battle, and she was 2nd, she would instead be bumped down to 3rd. Okay, let's end our turn. And Paul's not willing to commit more troops. He takes a contract and places a spy. We'll talk more about spies when we place our first. Okay, let's go ahead and reveal. Alright, so during our reveal phase, we have earned 2 persuasion by which to buy cards, and we've earned 2 swords to contribute to the battle. Well, let's now talk about these for a bit. These cards are chosen randomly from the Imperium deck. I'm going to call it that. I don't know if it is called that. And when the moment a card is purchased, a new one is replaced. You cannot undo a purchase once you've bought a card. You're stuck with it. As well as the knowledge that the better card you wanted was just revealed for everyone else to buy. And of course, they're going to have the persuasion to buy it. The 2 cards over here are always the same cards. We will always see Prepare the Ways and Spice Must Flows no matter how many games of Uprising we play. And there are 8 total Prepare the Ways and 10 Spice Must Flows that are available for purchase. Once they run out, you cannot buy any more of them. With our 2 persuasion, the only card we can buy is a Prepare the Way. Since we just dropped a blue circle from our deck, we trashed a reconnaissance, we kind of really need to Prepare the Way. In fact, let's talk about our starting deck very briefly. Everyone starts with the same cards, the same 10 cards, with one exception, and we're not going to talk about him. Everyone starts with a reconnaissance, 2 daggers, 2 Dune the Desert planets, their ring card, a diplomacy, and a seek allies. God, I hope that was 10. Oh, and 2 convincing arguments. There we go, 2 convincing arguments. Since we trashed our reconnaissance, the only other card in our deck that gives us an option to go to a blue circle is our ring, and we just played that. So we kind of want to make up for the fact that we just used our ring to trash our only other blue circle. So we'll go ahead and purchase this. It's also another way to get 2 persuasion. Note as well that if we have 2 influence with the Bene Gesserit and we play this card, we will earn 1 card. We'll draw a card. That's very nice. But we'll need 2 persuasion with the Bene Gesserit to benefit from that. Alright, that's the only card we can buy. Let's end our turn. Oh man, there's some expensive cards over there. No one can buy anything at the moment. Well, I mean, everyone bought something. No one could buy those expensive cards, for very few of them. And conflict is resolved. We'll talk more about conflict in depth when we have an intrigue card and are able to do so. Alright, not bad. So we earned 2 Solari, and we got a matching Desert Mouse. The desert, I forgot to mention, so now that we matched it, we score a point and we lose both of those symbols. They are now gone from our tableau. The player 1 moved to Fade Ratha. We are going last now on round 2. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about some of the things that now are available, and some of the places where our opponents have gone. First off, Fade went here. Note that these spots have an extra spice on them now. Maker spaces, if no one had gone to it in the prior turn, will earn 1 spice, and that keeps going up each turn. If no one goes to Deep Desert by the end of this turn, it'll have 2 spice there for the next turn, for example. Note as well, last turn, that no one went to the same spot that anyone else went. You are not allowed to do that. Once an agent is on a spot, no one else can go there. There is some exceptions to that. We'll talk about that when we get our first spy on the board. You cannot go to a spot that you have already gone to either, at least not through normal means. There is a way to do so if you can remove the agent from the spot, and there is a way to do that on the board, but right now we won't talk about that since it will take another 10 minutes to explain how all that works. For our purposes, this time we drew a Diplomacy, Convincing Argument, 2 Dune Desert Planets, and a Dagger. I see a Spice Refinery with another water available here. That's a decent contract to earn. But we also can complete a contract by going to deliver supplies. We'll earn 1 water, and we'll also earn 3 Solari. I wouldn't mind doing that, so I think we will go ahead and do so. Note that the contract that we now have is completed. Okay, not bad. That's all we'll do. Oh, I think we should talk about, I said we were going to talk about some of where our opponents went. Note that up here you have a 1 persuasion symbol, and over here there's a 2 persuasion symbol. When you go to this spot, you will earn 1 intrigue, and at the end of this round, also earn 1 persuasion. For the High Council, if you send a person here, it costs you 5 Solari to do it, but you earn this 2 persuasion at the end of every round, from then onward. You can go here in the future, but you won't earn an additional 2 persuasion. Instead, you will earn 2 spice, 1 intrigue, and 3 troops for going there in future turns. I think what... right, we just went here and ended our contract. Okay, let's end our turn. Ooh, they're really getting involved in this battle. At least some of them are. Okay, well, what are our options here? Well, first off, we cannot get into this battle. We do not have a way to access any spot that has swords. It would be fun to slip in 1 troop in order to get back a troop and earn 1 spice. Generally, 1 troop is worth 1 spice, or 1 water. I view that as a worthwhile investment. That you get the troop back is also kind of nice. I didn't mention this, and let's go ahead and do this right now. You'll note that we don't have 4 troops anymore, even though we won that battle. Any troops you commit to the conflict are gone. You do not get them back, win or lose. If you commit 12 troops, you lose all 12 troops. And on that note, you can only have 12 total troops in play at any one time, either through your reserves and or in the conflict. This means that, for example, if you had 8 out here and 4 in your reserves and earn another troop, you do not earn another troop. Lady Jessica also has a little bit more to worry about because she adds troops from her supply over here to her memories. It would take too long to explain how Lady Jessica works, but be aware she has another kind of constraint in that regard. They don't come from her reserves, they come from her supply of troops, the things that she doesn't have in her reserves or in combat. You're just losing the maximum amount you have total available to you when you put them over here. Well, since we can't get involved into the combat, but we do have 5 Solari, why don't we go up here to earn a permanent 2 Solari going forward? Our dagger will let us do that. Okay, and we end our turn. Lady Jessica absolutely winning that fight. 6 Solari for Lady Margaret Fenring. Alright, let's reveal. And what are our choices? So let's cover a few other things that we haven't talked about when it comes to the cards available now in the Imperium row. Cards have a type of faction they are. Some of them do. Unswerving Loyalty is a Fremen card. Sardaukar Coordination is an Emperor card. Note that in the blue for Sardaukar Coordination, you get +1 sword for each Emperor card you revealed this turn, including this one. So in other words, this is giving you 2 persuasion and +1 sword in your reveal phase, if you have it. Fremen cards, most of them have something called Fremen Bond. If you have a card in play, a Fremen card in play, which is to say, as far as I'm aware, you've used a card to go someplace with an agent that was a Fremen card to do it, then during the reveal phrase of revealing another Fremen card, you earn what the Fremen bond was of that card, not the one I think that was in play. I think that's the way that works. So example, if we play Shishakli, and we reveal Unswerving Loyalty, we would be able to deploy one or retreat one of our troops. If it was, and we can't play Unswerving Loyalty, but let's pretend we could have. If we played Unswerving Loyalty to move an agent onto the board, and we reveal Shishakli, then we would earn 1 rank with the Fremen faction upon revealing her. In other words, we didn't use her on our turn. Well, if we pick up both of these, that would give us 2 Fremen cards, which is nice. But she offers us no persuasion. She does give us an option to trash a card to draw a card, which is kind of nice. She also gives us 2 swords. And if we reveal her, and we had a Fremen card in play, we would gain a Fremen faction bump. But the Unswerving Loyalty we can't play. So we wouldn't be able to get this with this. We also have Sardaukar Coordination. This says here that if we deploy the Sardaukar, if we use Sardaukar Coordination, which can go to an Emperor space or a green space, and in particular, that's these spots, these 3, then troops we've earned by going to those spots can be deployed into the battle, as if we went to a spot that had a crossed swords on it. Well, since we are using whatchamacallit, Princess Irulian, and she's, as far as I'm aware, she's the Emperor's daughter, why not pick up a Sardaukar Coordination? Maker Keeper showed up. I really like Maker Keeper. It's a Fremen and a Bene Gesserit card. So it would bet. So if we had played Maker Keeper, and we had Sheskili in our hand, we would get the faction bump, for example. Although he himself has no Fremen bond. The Bene Gesserit, by the way, they also have a benefit, although their benefit requires you having other Bene Gesserit cards in play. And then playing additional Bene Gesserit cards to benefit from it. We'll cover that in the future if we pick up Bene Gesserit cards, so we probably won't be picking up any more of them. Anyway, if we had 2 influence with the Bene Gesserit and we played this card, we would gain a water. Or if we had 2, we had 2 Fremen influence, we would also potentially gain 1 spice. But note that Maker Keeper can only go to blue spaces. He can't go anywhere else. So that could be tricky. We can buy him if I so desire, but I'm not so sure I will be earning Bene Gesserit or Fremen. However, if I decide I don't want him, and we have him in our hand with our ring, we can still scrap him, at which point we'll also earn 2 spice. So he might not be a bad thing to pick up. Let's take him. He also is worth 2 persuasion, which is decent, so we will grab him. Okay, and that's all for our purchasing. Combat ends. Lady Jessica can choose any faction spot she wants and bump up her relation with it by 1, and she has the option of spending 3 spice to earn 1 victory point. She doesn't have 3 spice though, so she cannot do that. Chome security. Well, this is a bit awkward, our hand. Our hand is a bit awkward. Our hand is a bit awkward. Okay. First, I guess, going forward, we'll try to cover what is going on. I'll do a quick summary for you guys at home. Chome Security Combat earns you a Chris Knife. You gain 1 faction bump with the guild. You can pick a contract to automatically earn and gain 1 troop if you win. Second place is you earn 1 water, earn 2 Solari, and get 2 troops. Third place is you gain 1 intrigue and gain 1 troop. I wouldn't mind throwing in our 1 troop into this battle, though I do wonder how I'm going to go about doing that. At the moment, as I look over in the upper right-hand side of the screen, I see that we have 9 persuasion available to us at this moment, viewer. So that means if I reveal right now, without placing a single agent, I can take one of these 2 amazing cards. In fact, we should talk a little bit about something else I forgot to talk about for these cards. Some cards, under the persuasion it costs to purchase them, have a little blue arrow and a little section of the card that's in blue. We can see that that is the case. Under the 8, it points to a 1-up on the guild faction. That says that if you buy this card, by the way, you gain that right then and there. We will earn 1 faction with the guild if we were to buy this card when we reveal. Spice Must Flows, which are very important, give you a victory point immediately upon buying them. But the only thing they'll do for you is they'll give you 1 spice when you reveal them, and you can't use them to go anywhere. There are some good uses for Spice Must Flow if you're building a guild deck, but we're not currently doing that, so we won't cover that at this moment. What I'm thinking we want to do is go to Arakeen, gain a troop, deploy 1 troop to the battle, and see what other card we draw. And depending upon what we drew, we can choose to discard a card from our hand. A strategy thing for deck builders is you don't want a really fat deck with hundreds of cards in it. You want a streamlined deck, so you only get the cards that you want in your deck. But it is very hard to trash cards in this game. One of the only reliable ways to do that is here. But Desert Tactics costs a water to go there, and it's kind of tricky to gain water in this game. In any case, let's go here, we'll earn a troop, we'll draw a card, and we'll see if we want to trash anything. So, oh! We also have the option with Princess Irulian, I forgot about this with her ring, to take any card that's over here that costs 1 persuasion and add it to our hand. We could just take Unswerving Loyalty. And because it's added to our hand, when we reveal, we would earn a troop and a persuasion. That solves my dilemma of possibly not having enough persuasion to buy one of these 2 cards in the future. Let's draw a card first and see what we get. If it's a Dune the Desert Planet, I may still decide to trash it instead. It's Maker Keeper that we earned. Is it now? Well, that's really lucky. And viewer, I'd rather be lucky than good at any day in the week. I think what we'll do... So first off, if I can... Oh, but playing this this turn is really difficult to do. If we were able to play Maker Keeper, we would be able to benefit from the Fremen bond as well of this, and put a troop out into the conflict during our reveal phase. It's tempting. But I know I will have the persuasion I want, even without taking him. I think the idea of Princess Aurelian's ring as well is that when you get one of these persuasion rings, you hope that you have the ring and one of those in your hand in the future, and then you trash that card and gain 2 spice for doing so. I can't play him unless I go here, which I guess we could do. But I don't think we don't have any faction at the moment over here with these, so we're not going to really benefit from the perk of having this guy. He's really just 2 persuasion for us for quite some time. And since we're not going to be able to play him, I think I'd rather trash from hand than pick this guy up. Although he does give you a free troop, Tim. That's kind of important. Maybe you do want him. You know what? We'll take him. Let's acquire a card that costs 1. And grab Unswerving Loyalty. And then I think I will commit to the battle. We'll put 2 troops in. I wouldn't mind gaining 1st or 2nd here. And because we have Unswerving Loyalty, we can also take a troop out of the conflict if it looks like we're going to get last anyway. Alright, let's go ahead and reveal. Oh, no, we have another agent. Holy crap, I almost forgot. The game will warn you, by the way. Hey, you haven't done everything you want to do. You sure you want to end your turn? Thank God it does that. Okay, so we could use Maker Keeper to go here. We would draw 2 soldiers, and we would gain 2 cards. But I don't want to spend my water that way. And I don't think I want to draw more cards. I'm a little worried we would draw our diplomacy. I can't earn any spice, though. We didn't draw any of our yellow cards again. Or rather, we used our ring. So that was our option for yellow. I used our ring because it's 1 persuasion, not 2. And if I'd used Prepare the Way, we might not have had the 8 persuasion necessary to purchase one of these 2 cards. Yeah, I don't want to go there. I kind of also don't want to really win this combat. I would like to get 2nd place for that water. Let's use our dagger. And I think we will... 2 troops is nice. We could show you what I guess a intrigue card is. Let's do that. Okay, so here we go. Our first intrigue card. This is a plot, which means we could use it right now if we want, and we would gain 1 troop. If we have 3 influence with the Emperor, we would earn 3 Solari in addition. So I will try to wait to play this and see if we can gain more faction over here. I should point out that when you use this intrigue, it counts as you earning a troop. So if you play an agent to a spot that earns you a troop, and then we play this, we would be able to deploy this additional troop into the conflict. Effectively, if we had gone here, we could deploy 4 troops, not just 3 troops. Alright, we gained a troop thanks to whatchamacallit, our dudes. However, I've just noticed that Lady Fenring and Lady Jessica have both revealed already, and they have not earned any other combat at the moment, which means we're tying with Lady Fenring. I mean, we could win the conflict, which gives us a victory point, but I kind of want this water. Oh, but it's probably not going to matter. Oh no, it will really matter. So I think we will not deploy another troop. I want second place. Oh, well, hold on. I want second place, not first place. But there is something else to point out here. Lady Jessica and Lady Margaret Fenring have intrigue cards. This is a plot. Combat intrigues will generally add swords to you in the conflict. So, and the least amount of swords you can earn is 2 with them. Depends upon obviously what intrigue you possess. Most are 3 or better, although some require you to give up something by doing so. Oh, and I didn't explain faction. I didn't explain the faction ranks very well, or at all, really. So we'll go ahead and do that after in the beginning of the next turn. Let's go ahead and just buy one of these 2 cards. These are very good. What Steersman does is give us a faction bump with the guild, and can be deployed on any of the board spaces, circles, triangles, or pentagons, and the guild spot. When you use it, you can draw a card, and you can take back an agent that you sent to the board that wasn't the agent you used with Steersman. If you don't use it at all, you get 2 persuasion and 2 spice. Overthrow earns you 2 faction bump with the faction you use it on instead of 1. We gain an intrigue card upon purchasing it, and also gives you 2 persuasion, 2 swords, and a troop if you reveal it instead of using it. Both of these are fantastic cards. It might be some time until we get money. Actually, it won't be, now that I think about it, depending upon how I go about this. So I think we'll take Steersman. Sure, Tim? Steersman? Yeah, we'll take Steersman. They're both good. They're both very good, but we'll grab Steersman to start. I will not deploy or retreat a troop. We'll stay at... Although we could deploy another, I don't want to win this fight. I want to come in second. I mean, winning is okay. I don't mind winning, but I'd rather not win. Oh, we have 4 persuasion left over, so we can get even another card. I guess we could take a True Trance. She gives us more faction access. Or we could take another Sadakar Coordination. We could grab both of them. There can be, I think, there are many duplicates of some cards, but not everything is duplicate. There is no second Steersman. There is no second Overthrow. Most of the cards that are 5 or over, I don't think have a duplicate in them. I don't think I want any of these, although... No, well, she would let me trash a card. This could help purge my deck of some of the stuff I'm picking up. But she's not worth anything. Steersman is a Spacing Guild card. I guess we'll take Shasky, the girl whose name I can't pronounce. Oh, he just missed. Overthrow did fade Harkonnen. If we're super lucky, we'll get this next turn. Although our deck is not looking too promising for that. Okay, no one had any combat to add. So I and Lady... Oh, we all tied! Lady Jessica had 2 swords. Everyone going High Council very early. Alright, let's talk about faction a little more, because I completely forgot to mention some important things. As your token over here reaches a spot, if it's equal to something over here on the left, you earn that. So here, for example, we earned 1 victory point because our token arrived at a rank where that's shown. You will lose this, however, if you fall below that rank. If we were to make it to the 4th rank, for example, in the guild, we would earn 3 Solari for doing so. You do not lose this if you possess it, if you go down a rank here. And in fact, if you are able to go up and down, for some reason, let's say you want to do that, you can keep picking up 3. So you would earn 3, go down and not lose that 3, and then go back up and earn 3 Solari again. You can do it over and over and over again to your heart's content. You also, upon reaching the 4th rank, will earn this giant circle token here. This says that you are now in an alliance with this faction, and have earned 1 victory point. But the alliance token can be stolen from you if someone else goes higher than you on the faction track. You will also lose that token if you are the only one to possess it, and you move down below these 3 golden areas on the faction track. The game ends at the end of round 10, or at the end of any round in which any player still possesses 10 victory points. If you have 10 points at some point during the round, and let's say one of those points was through an alliance, and then you lose the alliance, either through your own actions or from someone stealing your alliance token, and you go down to 9, the game will continue in the next round, for example, unless someone else was able to get 10 victory points during that time. When it comes to losing faction, you are the only one able to make yourself lose faction. No one else can. There are no intrigues or cards that exist, at least here in Uprising, and none in the base game where it's DLCs, that let you target someone and say they lose a point of faction. That does not exist. There are cards, or there are ways to earn multiple faction in a turn. Overthrow, for example, once again, lets you earn 2 instead of 1 when you play it. That's a way that you can sneakily try to grab a point from someone. Anyway, I think for this particular round... Oh, I guess we'll talk about 1 or 2 more spaces, by the way. Over here is Imperial Privilege. You need 2 points with the Emperor in order to go there. And what this does is lets you scrap a tree card that you possess to draw a new one. You might have an endgame plot, which says that you earn a victory point at the end of the game if you have completed 4 contracts. And you look over and you see it's turn 7 and you have no completed contracts, in which case you scrap that and get a new one by going here. You also get to take back any agent that you place on the board that was not the agent that you sent to this spot, and you also would draw a card. But you must have 2 faction Emperor influence, and you must have 3 Solari to go there. Okay, I want this 7 spice. That's a whole lot of spice to have. That's a whole lot of spice to have. Oh, crap! And it looks like, Lady Jessica went here at some point, and she earned this pickaxe. We'll talk about that, in a bit. Just know that that's important to know she has it. I think we should go here and grab that 7 spice, viewer. That's just too much spice. When we go here, we have the option of gaining an addition. So first off, by going there, we gained all the spice that had accumulated because no one else had been there in the turns prior. We then have an option of either gaining 4 more spice, or, I guess we'll talk about this now, if we had this, which are called maker hooks, we could deploy 2 worms to the battle. But we do not have maker hooks, so we cannot do that. Jessica has them. If she was to go here, she could add 2 worms. Worms are not part of your reserves. They come out of the desert sand and boil up and are all terrifying. I like the original worms from the 1984 movie much better than the worms in the new ones. They just roll around with their mouths open. What are they doing? Eating all the sand? This is stupid, like giant lampreys. Anyway, a worm is worth 3 combat strength for each worm you possess in combat, as opposed to 2 of your troops. They are titanically sized giant worms after all. You would think they'd be a little better than your troops with laser guns are. They also, however, if you have any amount of worms in the combat, double what you earn over here. So if, let's say, Fade had a worm in combat, and he placed third, he would earn 6 Solari, not just 3 from the conflict. But we, once again, don't have to worry about worms. There's also something else about worms that we'll cover in the future, once worms become something once it's applicable. It's not quite there yet. Let's go ahead and grab 4 spice. And do I want to get involved in this battle at all? It is worth an Emperor bump. We would earn an Emperor spot, a Spy, and 2 Solari. I think we'll do it. We'll put 2 troops in. Fade now gets his Maker Hooks. Gets 1 water and 1 troop. Fade has a special track for his ring that he moves this little thing over, and it gives him certain benefits every single time he uses his ring. Okay, we have 6 persuasion. That is not 8, so we are not looking to buy. We are not going to get overthrow unless I get super lucky with withdrawing a card, which means we would have to go. No, we can't do it. There's no way for us to gain. We don't have any cards in our deck that would earn us 3 Solari. I'd also be a little nervous that we would draw Steersman, drawing a card at this point. So we do not want to draw cards. I think we will try to win this battle, though. We have the option of playing Sardaukar Coordination here, which, because it will cost us 4 spice, so we'll go down to 3. We can deploy any of these troops to the combat because Sardaukar Coordination lets us do that, and we earn an intrigue. We also could add a 5th to that if we just spend this right now, which we may do. I'm not sure we're going to earn a 3rd point with the Emperor quite yet. Also, because we are Princess Irulian, the first time we reach 2 Emperor faction points, we will earn a intrigue card. I suppose I should mention that I think the online community calls these friendships. I do not know if that's the actual term for it. It's a good name for these first victory points. So if we earn a friendship with the Emperor, we are the Emperor's daughter, you'd think we'd start being friendly with them, but apparently that's not the case. I guess there was some family drama at some point with our Emperor father and all. We will earn an intrigue card. I think we should do this. Actually, we'll earn a 3rd. Holy crap, if we win the battle, we'll earn a 3rd. So we should do that. We earned an intrigue, and then we earned another intrigue because, we earned an intrigue by going here. We earned another intrigue because we reached the 2nd spot. And this gives me a chance to talk about some other intrigue cards. Here is an example of a combat card. We can spend 3 spice, and we earn 6 combat strength. This is one of the best. It gives you a ton of swords. I think this is the only one that gives you 6. I think Spring the Trap is another one that gives you 6. Spring the Trap is a combat card which requires you to move some spies off the board. We haven't even talked about spies yet. We will earn a spy if we win this conflict, though, so hopefully we will do that. I think we should add another 2 troops into the battle to kind of guarantee we'll get first. We also gain Manipulate. Move and replace a card in the Imperium row. During your reveal this turn, you may acquire the removed card for 1 less. We could get rid of Overthrow to make sure our opponents don't get it. But there is something important to know about the AI. The AI will never reveal early, or at least in medium difficulty, I have never ever seen it do it ever. So the odds of them having the persuasion to pick up Overthrow is, even though they have High Council, is probably not very good if Fade and Jessica go down to 2 and 3 cards. Now, they might draw cards and throw in with Arakeen or draw a contract or go over here to Fremkit to do so, but they're still using a card to go to those places, so I'm not going to be overly concerned. But what we could do is use Manipulate to ditch this card and say, you know what? No one gets this card. Because if we don't purchase it, no one can. In fact, to be safe, I probably should do that, just to make sure we don't ever have to worry about seeing this card if we can't get it. But I'll take a risk that we don't have to worry about that being the case. Alright, that's enough babbling. Let's go ahead and end our turn. Let's see if Fade goes all in with these troops. He might do so. He completely... Oh, he does not. Okay. And Jessica is not adding any more troops to the conflict. She changes herself to... Oh, to Lady... Oh, no! To Lady Jessica. Okay. Oh, but she doesn't have High Council yet. Okay, so I'm not too worried. But she does have 5 cards in her hand. She might have 8 Persuasion. Let's look at her really quick. We don't see anything in her discard, so she could have any number of cards in her hand. I have to decide kinda now if I want to use Manipulate. You know, viewer, we're gonna do it. We're gonna get rid of it, so no one can get that card. And we reveal. We can't get it either. But we know they can't. That's more important for us. I don't actually want any of these cards either. So we will just pass without buying anything. Ah, she only had 5. Okay. Well, I'd rather her not have had it, so... Still think it's a smart move. Now, we can remove 3 of our troops from the conflict, but then Fade and I tie for second, and I kind of really want first. So... And it has to be 3 of our troops, and we would earn 3 spice. Those troops would be moved back into our reserves, by the way. But not this time. Let's just pass. We've earned our first spy, everyone. Spies must be placed on the spots that have these eye icons on them. And they affect spots that these are linked to. If we place a spy here, for example, that's linked to Research Station and Siege Taber. What it says is that if I go to these spaces with an agent, I can then remove the spy to draw a card. So it's a way of kind of anticipating where you think you're going to end up wanting to go in the future to gain extra power in the form of your cards. It also, though, allows you to deploy an agent to that spot even if an opponent has an agent there already. Doing so will remove the spy, however. But that's a way to say, I'm going here, and no one's stopping me from being able to access this spot. You only have 3 spies that you are allowed to place at any one time. If you get the option to place a 4th spy, you will gain the option to move a spy from one place to another place. I do not think you can remove your spies willy-nilly, though. You cannot add them back into your supply. That might be important to know if you want to move a spy around. You just can't just do it willy-nilly. Anyway, where do I want this particular spy? I think we'll place it up here, as I'm intending on going to Swordmaster this turn. And we're up first. So, what are our options? Oh, and we have Steersman. That's amazing. We get a chance to show off how this works. All right, perfect. So, first off, let's talk about Swordsman. The only spots we haven't talked about yet. It costs you 8 Solari to go here, but when you do so, you get an extra agent for the rest of the game. It then lowers the price of Swordmaster to 6, and everyone else can go there for 6 Solari instead of 8. I put my spy here because there are intrigue cards that give you 2 Solari, and I want to go there this turn to get our Swordmaster. So if, let's say, Lady Jessica gains 2 Solari with an intrigue and goes here, we can still go here and get our Swordmaster as well. Alright, so to start, why don't we use a Dune the Desert planet to go here? This will give us 5 Solari and give us a faction bump with something in the game. I don't know. Let's look at with the Emperor. Why not? We should actually go here and begin working on gaining another friendship with one of the factions we're not friendly with yet. But I want this victory point and I want another spy down on the board. So let's do this instead. Besides, it's thematic. We are Princess Aurelian after all. Okay. And let's place that... What are the odds we get spice, Tim? Or even water in the future? Not very good, right? Let's place it here. Or, no. Let's... Oh, this is going to be very tricky. I have green. Let's place it here. When we use... Oh, we will draw a card with Steersman, but there's no guarantee we'll draw... We might draw Unswerving Loyalty or our other Convincing Argument, which gives us no options for playing cards to the board. Any other space except for these greens. So, let's... And if I have leftover money, and we will, after we go to Swordsman, because we'll use Shedam's Favor to gain a troop and 3 more Solari, we can go here to gain even more troops and some water. I suppose we'll begin talking about worms a little more. Note that on the board, the worms now have a red symbol over them. You are not allowed to currently get worms. This is because this is taking place at the Siege of Arakeen. In fact, the winner of this will earn a Ornithopter, will earn 2 Solari, 2 troops, and that battle icon. Note that this over here on Arakeen is glowing red. You're fighting for this spot, and if you win it, your colored banner will be over this. And from then on, whenever you or anyone goes there, you will earn whatever is in that spot, indicated under the banner. 1 Solari. So if we go here, we give whoever owns this spot, including ourselves, 1 Solari. By give, I mean you earn. You don't take it from someone, you just gain a Solari. Over here is 1 spice. However, worms are not allowed to fight in these spaces, because the shield wall is still up. This mountainous, very rocky area. This must be removed before worms are allowed to be added to the conflict. It tells you that by these X's over the worms. And the conflict also has a no worm allowed. It's like Snoopy go home. no dogs allowed. Only it's worms, not cute beagles. Anyway, let's go ahead and take our turn. Oh, and to blow this up, to get rid of this, you must go to this spot and then choose this second option to gain 1 water and detonate the shield wall. There are intrigue cards that let you detonate the shield wall as well, if you so desire. Alright, so I want to go... So first of all... Oh, I don't want to actually... Oh, we're not going to build Privilege. Don't worry about that. Alright, let's go ahead first and go to Swordmaster here with Steersman, I think. We will use our spy to draw a card. Steersman draws us another card, and then we use our Steersman ability to take back the agent that we had there. Now, if we had 3 more spice, we could go here another time. And in fact, we've opened this spot up for other people to go here. Keep that in mind. You may end up taking back an agent from a spot that you didn't want anyone else to actually go to. But by doing it, you've now opened it for so that they can. Okay, that's good. Let's now end our turn. Okay, the shield wall is destroyed. Worms are now allowed to be deployed into those 3 spots. Once the shield wall is destroyed, it is destroyed for the rest of the game. You're not going to rebuild all of that. That's crazy. It's not even a real wall. Made of rocks and mountains from Arrakis itself. All right, what are we doing now? We should probably use our dagger over here somewhere. I wouldn't mind getting involved in this battle just to earn the other Ornithopter, but that's not very easy for us to do. I would like to just deploy 3 troops and take them back to earn 3 spice with Spice's power. We need to work on our faction bumps too. We could go here for more water. Why do you want water, Tim? We're not getting worms. We are probably never going to reach this spot. It is going to be too much work to get to one of the Fremen spots at this point in the game. So I don't think that's happening. So I guess we work on our Bene Gesserit friendship, and we get a intrigue. We could spend this to earn a troop and gain $3 and go to Imperial Privilege, and then just scrap Spice's power to draw a different card. But this is a very nice combat. I kind of want to get 3 troops in so I can actually use this to take them out again. But I have no way to do that. We can only put 2 troops in by going here, not 3. And we need... Actually, no, we can do it. We can do it. Yeah, we can do that. So let's go here. We'll use Shaddam's favor, earn another troop, and then I'm allowed to deploy 3. Actually, maybe we want to win, because we would earn 2 more Solari, and we'd earn 2 troops, and we'd earn the banner, and we earn another victory point thanks to the battle icon. So maybe we do this. Let's confirm. This is using combat anyway, so we're not going to be able to remove these guys until then. And we have the option to do so anyway. We can also talk a little bit about how combat is resolved when it comes to intrigue cards. Alright, and I'm glad we got rid of that one 8-point card, because Fade revealed having 9 persuasion. No one else is really getting involved in this. Okay, let's use our diplomacy to go here. Oh ho! We get to steal an intrigue. Nice. Oh, hey, we stole contingency plan from somebody. You can use it as a plot to earn 2 coins, or in combat to gain 3 swords. And we have distraction. If we deploy 3 troops to a conflict, we can place a spy, and that spy can be placed on any other spy spot, even if it's owned by an opponent's spy. I think I mentioned it, but in case I didn't, just like your agents, you are not allowed to place a spy on a spot that already has a spy on it, with, of course, some exceptions. All right, let's reveal. I see Covert Operation, which I like, because it gives us 2 spies if we reveal it, and we can deploy it to any spot where, oh, I guess a symbol, this eye symbol, says that this card allows you to play agents onto the board only on places where one of your spies is located already. I like Desert Operation. Double Agent's also decent. I think I want more spies on the board, so we'll grab Covert Operation. And do I want to win this fight? I mean, I guess we do. Why not? Why not win the battle? Yeah. Yeah, let's pass. We'll win this battle. We'll get another victory point. We'll earn 2 Solari, we'll earn 2 troops, which makes up for the 3 we're deploying. Oh wow, I didn't realize Lady Jessica has 5 points already too, so we're tied with her. She's actually quite a threat. We mash the Ornithopter and gain a point. Our banner goes over Arakeen that now belongs to us. And the next battle is the secure Imperial Basin. Another battle for a location over here, this time this one. I was hoping we would earn Sadakar coordination this turn, but we did not do that, at least not yet. Oh, but this is pretty amazing. Let's deploy Maker Keeper. We won't benefit from either of these benefits by using it, but it will be in play, which means that Shakili's Fremen bond will come into play. Or I guess we could, nah, I don't feel like trashing a card with her. I want the Fremen bond to react and give us a faction bump with the Fremen. So let's go here. And we will deploy 3 troops, which then lets us use Distraction. Or do I want to use Distraction? We have enough money that we could go to Imperial Privilege and scrap Distraction and hope for a different card. But the Spy is kind of nice, so I think we'll use it. And we drew Unswerving Loyalty, which was not the set of card coordination that I wanted to see. Actually, yeah, I want set of card coordination, and I want it this turn. I want it this turn. Where can we draw another card? We'd have to go here. Oh, we can't! Then we can't draw... Oh, we can if I go here. But then I don't have the money that I want this turn. Actually, we can draw a card. No, we can't. No, prepare the way. You have to have 2 influence with the Bene Gesserit, Tim, and you're not doing that at the moment. We could use Shakili to trash a card and draw a card, but I kind of don't want to use I don't want to use either of them. I wanted Sadakar coordination because I wanted to go here this turn and earn 2 spice, an intrigue, and 3 more troops. But I guess I don't need to do that. Oh, hold on, Tim. You can draw a card just by going to one of these spots, because you will be allowed to draw a card if you remove your spy. And if we spend 2 Solari when we go here, we get a water, which you mentioned that you wanted for some reason, though I do not actually know why you want water. But we can do it. We need a green card, so we'd have to use one of these 2. As tempting as it is to use our Signet Ring to scrap Unswerving Loyalty, I kinda like having that troop. But it would also give us 2 spice to bring us up to 3, which would give us 5 spice if we go here, which is enough to go to Highliner if I so desire, to deploy 5 troops and fight if I so wish. I think we'll at least go here. We'll draw a card. And we'll spend it for the water after all. And then do I want to trash... I mean, I guess, well, we have 9 points too, Tim. That's enough for a Spice Must Flow, but then we couldn't play a... Actually, if you could go here and draw another card, but you'd be drawing randomly. And I don't want to draw Steersman, and I'd be terrified I'd draw it. But I guess it wouldn't hurt to draw Steersman in this case. It would let us buy a card. It just feels bad if we do that. But I guess we'll play it by ear. We'll wait. Let's, Want to trash from hand, Tim? You know what? We will. You sure? No, I won't. We'll decline, and we'll just end our turn. I have a plan. Look at all those intrigues Lady Jessica has now. Oh, good for her, getting rid of some of these intrigues. This way, she doesn't have 4, so she doesn't worry about she doesn't have to worry about any getting stolen. Okay, let's use Sadakar Coordination. We'll go ahead and draw that card. It's freaking Steersman. What are the odds it's actually Steersman? What was that? 1 in 8? That's like a 15% chance? Well, we drew it. Alright, well, there we have it. We'll get 2 more Spice. We have 2 more Persuasion. I shouldn't complain. I'm kind of glad, I guess, we drew it. It's enough that we can buy a Spice Must Flow. And we'll have 5 Spice when we reveal, which is enough to go to Highliner if I so desire, or go to Sadakar if we draw our Diplomacy. All right. Well, it's too late now. Do I want to commit to the battle in any more? Lady Fenring has revealed already, and she has only 1 intrigue. So odds are she is not going... I wouldn't mind having 2nd in this battle. If we deploy... Let's deploy 3 more troops. And during our reveal phase... Oh, and I guess... Wait, we earned another distraction? We earned another distraction. Well, let's go ahead and use it then. Let's put it... I'm thinking actually on the Bene Gesserit, so we can be guaranteed to go up a faction rank with her next turn. This would be another spot I would want it, so we can go back here again next turn. As we might have enough, I might decide we have the spice necessary to go here, earn 5 more gold, go up another rank somewhere over here, and then, yeah, that might be a good thing too. Actually, I think I've talked myself into it. Let's go back to observation post with this spy. Okay, and we'll end our turn. Can't believe we drew it. What the heck? Although, we only had 1 other 2 persuasion cards, so if we hadn't drawn this, we would have to hope for an convincing argument to get 9 persuasion for a Spice Must Flow. Okay, so I guess I shouldn't complain. But I am. Let's go ahead and reveal. Okay, so first off, we can just retreat a troop because of our unswerving loyalty. So we'll do that, and we're still beating Miss Fenring. We can buy Interstellar Trade, but this is not so useful for us. Odds are we'll never even get a chance to play it. It could be useful if we do, though, for the free faction bump if we play it. Oh, no. But we have enough for a Spice Must Flow. And at turn 6, we have to begin getting ready for the end of the game. Lady Jessica also has 6 points, so we need this card. Okay, let's end the turn? Okay, this could be a chance to a little bit talk about conflict cards and conflict a little more. If you don't, the order in which people commit to the conflict, which is to say they decide whether or not they're going to pass their turn or not, is first off, anyone who doesn't have any troops in the conflict automatically passes, and they're never allowed to do anything else again. Then, in order of whoever has the first player marker, down to last, you take turns deciding if you possess any intrigue cards, do you want to use one? If anyone uses one, then everyone else who hasn't used one gets a chance to use one. And that keeps going around and around and around until everyone is done getting a chance to use their cards. So for example, right now we're up. If we use, let's say, Spice's Power, which I think we'll go ahead and use, to withdraw 3 troops, and we pass our turn, note that Fade Rotha Harkonnen and Lady Margaret Fenring have removed the cross symbols over their faces. They are now allowed to, once again, make a decision if they wish to play an intrigue card or not. In a similar fashion, let's say Fade passes, because he doesn't have any, so he'll have to pass, but Lady Margaret Fenring decides to play one. Let's say she has one. Then I get a chance to play mine again, for example, and I can play Contingency Plan if I wished. Starting at round 7, the conflicts begin to have better rewards, especially for first place. Although technically, I guess all the rewards are better at round 7 and higher. Victory points become more prevalent. And remember that if you have a worm in play, you double what you earn. So if someone adds a worm to this battle, they will earn 2 victory points and have the option of also spending up to 12 Solari for 2 more. They also earn one of these desert mice, so there's a total potential of 5 victory points on the board here. For our needs, we have a decent choice to make. Do we go here to the guild, spending 5 spice to deploy 5 troops? Actually, if we go here, we will not be able even to deploy all these troops because we already have 9, so we would only earn 3. We also don't have a way. Well, actually, why not go here to start? In fact, let's see if we can win. If we can end the game this turn. So first we'll go here to Dune the Desert Planet. We have the 3 water. Oh, well, no, we can't. Sorry. We don't have Maker Hooks. So we cannot add worms to the conflict, even if we wanted to. But we would be able to stop anyone else from doing that if we go here. So the issue I'm having right now is we'll have a ton of spice, but converting that into something we can use will be tricky. Let's see what we can do. We'll go here to start. We'll take all that spice and we'll deploy 2 troops. Yeah, we can get more troops in if I go here, but I don't think we're winning this battle. Oh, wow. Lady Jessica keeping up with us. This is very dangerous. We can't let her win this fight either. We may have to go here to deploy more troops, though I don't really want to do that. I'm gonna hope we don't have to worry about it. Let's go here next. Earn $5, and we'll bump ourselves up on the Fremen side. And we'll end our turn. There's Highliner gone. I hope Fade wins this battle. I hope Fade wins this battle. Go all in, Fade. Do it! Oh, he discarded a Smuggler's card with that one, too, so he's going to draw 2 other cards. Can Fade win? I don't think Fade can end the game here. And we are not realistically going to commit any more troops to this. We would have to deploy quite a bit, and I don't really have the option to do so. I think we'll use our... Well, if I don't deploy Covert Operation, that would let me gain 2 spies. I could go here with Covert Operation, consume our spy, trash contingency plan, hope for something else, take back one of my agents, it would be this one, and draw a card, but that card won't be useful. But maybe I want that card out of my deck now, rather than waiting around. The odds are not good that we're able to access the guild spot next turn. I'm going to go here. Oh, if I go here, though, Tim, you don't have the money to go here unless you spend contingency plan. And I was planning on scrapping contingency plan. We could go here with the dagger. And just forget about the High Council this round. And scrap contingency plan. And we're looking for an end game of some sort. But I suppose this isn't a bad thing to hold on to. Let's go here. I will actually hold on to contingency plan at this moment, as the 2 spice might get 2 salary might get us to High Council. We went here then. Are you sure, Tim? Are you sure? It's really on a limb that you get an endgame that's useful to you. In fact, likely you won't. I can only think of one that would be useful. No, we won't do it. But we'll take back this guy. So basically, I went here to draw a card. Hopefully Jessica uses all her combat intrigues at this moment. That would be useful for us next round. Assuming we have a hand that we can go back into the battle next round. Actually, we don't want Lady Jessica to win. We don't want a competitor, and she is our closest competitor at 7 victory points. She does have 4 intrigues, though, so why don't we go here and ruin some of that? We'll steal an intrigue and get a point by reaching the friendship on the Bene Gesserit. Oh, and here is an endgame. Oh, and there's another contingency plan that we earned. So, okay, well, that answers the contingency problem I was thinking of. And ironically, I mentioned the endgame that had 4 contracts earlier on in this video, and here it is. But we've only completed 1 contract, so guess how useful this is to us? Not at all. So this is a good one to discard, and by discard, I mean trashed. You will never have this intrigue ever present in the game again. Not that it's really a concern. The only one who has a possibility of doing 4 contracts currently is Lady Market Fenring, as she has 2 uncompleted ones. Harvest 4 spice from somewhere, and go to Highliner once. Alright, let's end our turn. Let's really end our turn. We don't want any of that, but we do want to put down 2 spies. We want possibly Highliner. I want possibly Sadikar or High Council. I am getting a little nervous that these guys are getting close to me, but I'm going to guess they won't steal my alliance, so I'll go here. And I won't buy anything at this point in the game. I don't want any of these. Our deck's about to be reshuffled. I suppose I should mention at this point, as I hinted I might do earlier, that if you reshuffle your discard into your deck, the cards that then you played that round form your new discard deck, and you won't see them in the future. We actually have a pretty bad hand at the moment. I don't really want to see this next turn. Except for diplomacy. But we will have to draw this. These cards will be in our deck again. I would have to have drawn 2 other cards to make sure that we don't see any of this again in the future. We have a 16-card deck also, which is a pretty fat deck. I don't like having more than 15 cards in it. Alright, Fade, congratulations. He's about to earn 2 more points. Oh no, it was Lady Jessica that won! She used an intrigue. Oh crap, we're tied! This is it! We need to win this battle. We need to deploy troops to this. And we kinda can. So we can use Sadikar Coordination to go... Oh, we can also get... We can go here and get our Maker Hooks as well, and to begin deploying troops. I'm going to do that to start. We'll go here, get a water, get some troops, and begin throwing troops into the fight. First off, it takes away a spot for my opponents to go to, which I kinda want. Or do you just not care about worms, Tim? You don't have to care about worms. You're probably not going to be able to reach either of these spots. Fade and Lady Jessica will go there, and they will get worms. Not you. Or do we go here and draw a card instead, and fish for, like, Steersman or something? Odds are awful that we get it, but there is a slight chance. Let's go here to start. There is no reason at this point in the game for us to trash a card from our hand. We actually want all the cards that are currently in our hand. We'll end our turn. Alright, there's Deep Desert gone. Not that we were going there. We didn't have the water to go there. Okay. Well, there goes our option for worms, was taken from us. So now we cannot spend our Maker Hooks or 1 water to do so. If Fade wins this battle, he might win the game? He won't, he'll have 9, but he might have enough persuasion to buy a card. So I think we still have to go all in. We have to win this. And we're not going to Highliner, however, unless we get super lucky. we have to draw either our diplomacy, our steersman, or a covert operation. 3 cards in our massive deck of 11 leftover cards. That's like maybe a 28% chance. That's not very good. And I need money to take advantage of this to deploy troops immediately, if I even want to do that. I think we might just use out-of-card coordination, go here, which is a shame because it's one of these too many. We could go here, Tim. You could scrap Chom Profits. Okay, let's try something tricky. This might be a really bad idea, but we're going to try something tricky. We're going to go here. I will not draw the spy card. I will trash Chom Profits. And we will take back, yep, that guy. Which is a bit of a shame, because now one of them can go there. But that includes us. We can go there again if we wish. Oh, and there's Highliner. So we are probably not beating Fade. Oh, who now will have enough points to win the game and beat us. Unless we go all in and somehow figure out how we can get more than 20 strength. And a Fade probably doesn't have money to buy a Persuasion, though. I think we go to Arakeen, because that lets us deploy 3 more troops and draw another card, which could help us. It's Steersman. Of all the cards to get, that's a fantastic one to get. He doesn't have enough to buy a Spice Must Flow. He is going to... That intrigue makes it so that whenever he buys a card, he gets a troop added to his reserve. There goes another option we had for troops. Lady Jessica taking that from us. I think we use Steersman. No, it should be... Well, I mean, if I want to play another card, we have to use Steersman. There's an okay chance we get to Persuasion. So here's my dilemma. If I use Sadakar Coordination and we go... Actually, hold on. Let's use Steersman to go here. We'll get $5. We can increase our faction rank with something. Oh, let's do this. We go here, we draw a card. Convincing argument. We'll level our guild up. Oh, wait, no, Tim, no. What does that do for you? No, that does nothing for you. Sorry. I thought for a second we could go here to Highliner after all. Screw the troops. We'll just get the alliance. But I have no way to do that with the cards I have in my hand. So that doesn't really help me. But I'll still do it. We'll threaten to take this. But we're probably not... Unless something really unique happens, Fade will... he might only get 3 points, but we're still going to try to win. Actually, do you want to even use Steersman? It's too late. We've already played it. We drew a card, so now we have to. All right, let's choose a guy to take back. Oh, right, and when we did play our Maker Keeper, we also earned... Or did we play a Maker Keeper? I thought we did. Oh, I think we played him here, right, and then we took him back. In fact, we did. Yes, I see that. Okay, very good. We also earned that 1 extra water and 1 extra spice. Let's use Sadakar Coordination, and we'll earn our 3 other troops. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we don't lose any troops by going to High Council. We can't earn 4. That would bring us to 13, and we're not allowed to have 13. So we want to go here. We earn 3, which is our max. We also earn another intrigue, and we earn 2 more spice. If I lose... let's draw the card. Okay, and we get to deploy more troops after all, so that is fantastic. Oh, sorry, more spies. And we put our... Oh, it's not enough. I can only deploy 3. Right, only the earns ones we deployed. But he's sitting at 20 without any intrigues. So odds are good we can win this because we have a bunch of combat intrigues in our hand. We could actually spend one of these for 2 coins, and then spend that for... Oh, well, no. Mercenaries gives us 2 troops, which we don't earn. We would only be trading out mercenaries. We'd spend 2 intrigues for 1 intrigue. That's not worth it. Alright, so then... we reveal. We'll deploy our spies. 1 will go here. 1 will go... here. I'm not anticipating another round. This was probably the last round. I do not need any of these cards. Okay, we have to use combat if we want to win, so we'll start with Impress. We get to add a card, right, we have to choose a card and add it to our deck by using Impress. Someone has to give us a gift, so we'll take another Maker Keeper. We get 2 strength, and poor Fade can't challenge us. So let's just pass the rest of our turn. Fade will come in second. Yay! And that's it! Let's talk about this as well. We've just reached 10 victory points. The round is not over, which means that it will be over now. It's not like you win the combat, add a victory point, and the next round starts. You're still in the current round. If anyone in the current round reaches 10 victory points, that round, the game is over. Someone would have to somehow magically steal it from us, and I don't think that's going to happen. Let's spend 4 spice to earn a victory point. And we win! Hey, very good. This was nowhere near as nail-biting as some of the other ones were, but we did have to fight Lady Jessica all that way to get those 11 points. And we won it without deploying even a single worm. What the heck? What the heck happened? It was a low-spice, low-salary game for our opponents most of the time. When the game is over, you're able to see what everyone's entire normal deck is. So I can go to the discard of Fade. Oh, is it? I think this is his whole deck. Isn't it his whole deck? These are the cards he trashed. And this is the totality of his deck, I believe. Is that right? No, I don't think that's right. I'm sorry. I thought it was... Maybe it is correct. I thought it was correct. I think it is correct. I'm not sure anymore. Anyway, we did it. All right, not bad. Not bad. I'll take a victory on screen against a medium difficulty AI. I'll take it. We still fought for that. We almost came in second. Thank goodness we got all that combat right there at the end. I was pretty confident we could beat Fate, especially when I noticed he did not have anything. One more thing about the end of the game. We didn't have any end game plots that would add victory points. They would have done so at the end of this particular round because the game is now over. And if there's a tie for victory points, the game then looks at who amongst the tiers has the most spice. And if there's a tie for spice, it then moves to Solari, who has the most Solari. I think there's yet another tiebreaker if even that is tied, but I do not know what that is. It is very difficult to have an entire tie throughout every single method that the game uses to check for a tiebreaker. So, if we had tied Lady Jessica at 11 points, we would have beaten her with 10 spice, for example. Alright guys, I'm going to put a break here, and I'll be back to play another one. Give me a few seconds. Alright guys, I'm back. Let's go ahead and play that second game. It turns out, by the way, that today, July 15th, 2026, the actual ranked Uprising starts. In fact, I think it's starting 20 minutes from now. Or at least several other YouTubers who play this game are going to be streaming themselves playing it. So we will probably be doing a few videos of our own sooner rather than later. I will not be recording every game, and this will be only an occasional upload as a heads up. But you should expect a few here and there as the seasons start anew, just because I like this game. And, well, I want to record myself playing it versus other players. I don't expect to do well, once again, but I expect it to be fun. Alright, now with that said, let's square off against the AI another time. This way, I can cover anything I might have missed. I don't think I missed anything, actually, but I might have. And to help ingrain how this game is played into you viewers at home one more time. It also gives me a little chance to talk about a few more things that I feel are important about this game that we didn't really cover in the first part. We're going to leave all this the same because I'm anticipating Ranked to be playing with these modes all on, or set to what they are, with of course the exception of the AI difficulty. And by the way, I don't think I mentioned it, but the Cho module is what allows contracts to be something that the game uses. I actually don't know what the board is like if you have this off. Everyone I've seen play this game is playing with it on, and I've always set it on. So we will leave it on as well for us. And this time, we are the second player to choose a leader, which means we will go third. I'm sorry, is that right? Yeah, we will go third this round. And last? No, and then second, and then first. Okay. So who's available this time? We have a few different leaders up here. Lady Margaret, is that right? No, maybe? Who do we used Princess Aurelian last time. This time, let's try playing... Actually, the first thing we should do before we choose a leader is go over here and see what's available on the Imperium row. Oh, this is interesting. Not a fantastic choice of cards, in so much that there's nothing very expensive over there, but there are still some good ones. I suppose I could talk a little bit of strategy upon why you might want to choose certain leaders at this point in the game. Let's say there was a 7-point cost card here. A good leader to choose might be Princess Aurelian. If she starts with her ring in her hand, she can play her ring and grab a card like Weirding Woman or Smuggler's Harvester, which would allow her to gain one more persuasion, trying to get her that 7 starting persuasion for the very first round of the game, which she is capable of doing, especially if she goes like here to grab a card to help what her total is. Another good person to attempt that with, though it's not very likely to happen, but still can, is Staban. His deck is a little slimmer than other leaders are. Staban's deck doesn't have a diplomacy in it, which is a bit irksome, because he has no consistent way in which he can reach the faction spaces. He gets 1 Seek Allies, but once that's used, that's gone from your deck. But it does mean he has a better chance to get, let's say, 2 convincing arguments in his hand. Anyway, I think we will actually go ahead and choose Staban Tuek. He is one of the more trickier leaders to use, at least the game says he is, and I would agree with that, so we're going to pick him. His passives, he has 2 of them. Whenever another player sends an agent to a maker board space we are spying on, we earn 1 spice. And our ring, when we use it, we get a spy. If we place that spy on a green pentagram spot, the Landsrod, we can spend 1 spice to earn 3 Solari. If we place it on a faction space, we can spend 2 Solari to earn an intrigue card. You might hear me accidentally call the intrigues treacheries. I'm still used to the only Dune board game in existence being the one that was, the Friend Ender game, where everyone has special abilities, like the Bene Gesserit player can make a player do something with the voice power and so on. That was a good one. I wonder if there's a digital version of that out there. I suppose I should talk about this briefly as well. This is a good enough time as any to do so. Not all the leaders are built equally. Some leaders I feel are stronger than others. In particular, I would say that Lady Amber Matuli is among the weaker leaders available. And Gurney Halleck, Paul Muad'Dib, and Fade Rotha Harkonnen are among the stronger of the leaders that you can play. So you will probably never see me use them, those 3 strong people, because I like trying to win with the weaker ones, just as a heads up. I'm not expecting there to be any balance changes or alterations as the game goes forward. This is the digital version of the board game, and to my knowledge there's been absolutely no balance changes with the other versions of the game that exist, the base game and its expansions, even though many people kind of agree, at least the player base, the fans of the game, seem to agree that some cards are too powerful and some leaders are much better than others. But there was no alterations to them, so we should not expect that here either. With that said, any leader can win. All you need is know how to use them, and a bit of luck. And that includes the leaders who are considered very good. They still have to be able to get decent cards or make the right moves and or get lucky with what their hands consist of. It's just easier to win with them. Alright, let's go ahead and pick Staban. Oh, we saw this skirmish before. This is what we fought for the first time in the game. The first time in the game? Well, I guess technically yes. In the first conflict against the AI. Fade uses his ring. He's putting in a decent amount of troops, but not committing too heavily to it. Okay, so what do we want to do? Well, first let's look at what our opponents did. Fade Rotha deployed 2 troops and went here with his ring. His ring, by the way, I guess we'll talk about him briefly, lets him move this token to the right on this track of his, and he gains the benefit of whatever it was that his token was over. In this case, he went here and was able to place a spy somewhere on the board. He can also trash a card. In fact, he'll have to do that next turn. Well, he has an option to do that when he uses his ring again. And then a choice to trash another card or get a spy. And then it depends upon where his token is to do the next one, and so on and so forth. Shaddam went here. Did he use his ring to do that? He did. So he wasn't allowed to deploy any troops when he used his ring. He grabbed the contract. I think he grabbed the Highliner one. Yep. If he goes to Highliner, he'll earn 2 water, and he drew a card. We should probably get involved into this conflict a little, or consider it, since it would give us a little bit of Solari. Do I want to draw a card? Maybe? Maybe we don't care. We could use our signet ring to go here, get a spice, place a spy, and deploy some troops. And then maybe use our dagger to go to one of these 2 spaces if they're open, and spend that spice to get some Solari. I think I like that idea. Let's do it. Oh, although, another option is we use our signet ring some other place. I mean, we can still put it here, but we put the spy on Imperial Basin. What that means is that if an enemy goes there, we will get a spice just because they went there. If we don't go here with our ring, it is more likely that an AI will go there next round, as there will be an extra spice placed on the maker spot. Players as well, like actual human players, will consider these spots more greedily when there's more spice for the taking on them. But then what would I do with my other cards? I guess we could go here and get a little bit of money. No, you know what? I think I like my first plan. Let's go here with our signet ring. And by the way, that passive with him, if he has a spy here, he gains a spice. It doesn't go away, because the spy has to be removed for it to go away, and it can be any spy, obviously, not just a spy you place with the signet ring. There is no difference between a signet ring spy and a normal spy. Just in case I wasn't clear with that. And since we got that spice, could spend it when I put the spy here. I think I'll do that. And we'll earn 3 Lotaeri. Now, there is something to... Or do we do that? That one spice allows me to go here and place another spy on the... No, you know what? Yeah, I do want to do that. We'll do that. And unlike the last time when we fought for this, we don't have the desert mouse symbol. So I'm not as interested in winning this battle as I had been before. I would like to get second. I'm willing to tolerate third. But I'll still put in 2 troops to hope for second place. I definitely don't want to tie for third, because that means I get nothing, as does the other player. So it's gonna be, we're gonna put 2 in. And now that music seems extremely loud to me. Okay, so if I want to be guaranteed we'll get second, I can't spend the ring this turn. Because if just the ring. I can't spend a dagger this turn. Because, let's say, Shaddam has no intrigues, but he might have 2 daggers in hand. In which case we would tie for second. So I could go here, spend our 1 water in order to gain 2 additional spice. That could be useful. It means we can go here after all in order to place another spy on the board, and I would place it on a maker spot. Or we could get 2 more bucks by going to the spice refinery here. If we earn 2 more, that gives us 5, and if we earn 3 more, that gives us actually 8, which is enough to grab Swordmaster on our second turn, which is incredible. But we have to hope we get second. And I think we will honestly get second. So why not? Let's do that. Let's play our reconnaissance to here. And I don't want first place. Hopefully our dagger doesn't let us beat Fade. We don't want 5th. That becomes a bit awkward since we're down 1 Lotaeri in that case. We'd have to go back here next turn somehow. And we might be able to. That's another... well, let's end our turn. We'll talk a little bit more about strategy going forward. Yeah, I don't want 3rd. I also don't want 1st. Okay. Very good. We will not take 1st. Fade gets 1st, as he had 2 daggers. And Shaddam had 1 dagger, so we could have spent ours after all. But I'm kind of glad we didn't. I'm kind of glad it worked out this way. Alright, let's reveal. With Staban, I tend to like having spies, so that we have options to go to the faction board spaces, for example. Because not only we could do it with you can go to faction spaces with something like Truth Trance, but if you have a spy over on a faction board, obviously you can go there with something like Strike Fleet, so it opens up additional options for us. We unfortunately missed Truth Trance, which is effectively the diplomacy we would be wanting for Staban, but we don't have the persuasion for it. So we can take Double Agent, and I think we do that. Double Agent allows us to place a spy wherever we use that card to go to. So if we use an agent to go here, we could choose one of these 2 spaces to place a spy. And that spy can go there even if an opponent has a spy on one of those spots, or the spot we choose to use anyway. Oh, Strike Feet for Lady Amber Mutuli. That's a good one. Oh, and Fade gained a victory point. Good for him. Okay. What order do I want to do things in? No one else has 8 Solari. No one else has... I guess Lady Amber has an intrigue. There are some intrigues that give you a little bit of money, too. There's 2 of them, I think, in the deck. The contingency plan, which lets you get 2 Solari or 3 swords. There's also, I think, something called, like, Chome Profits or something, where you lose a faction rank, but you gain 4 Solari if you use it. I think that's what it does. But no one still has 8 Solari, even if that occurs. So I am not concerned about this being stolen from me. So we can go here second, not first. In this regard, in this way, we guarantee we get a spot we want and not have to just wait and pray something that we want isn't taken by an AI. I would like to go here to espionage, but we'll need a spice for that. So we can get another spy on the board. So let's go here and get a spice. And I would like to get involved in the battle, but I don't think we win at all. I don't think we place at all if we do. So we won't do so. This is not a fight for us. Now we could... Well, no. Let's stick with the plan, Tim. Let's go ahead and use our dagger and go here to get our sword master. I guess I will mention, we could go here instead to immediately begin getting 2 extra persuasion so we can get cards that we want. And in fact, that could be what we want to do instead, if only because that would let us pick up Truth Trance. But there's no guarantee this will be here, because Shaddam may take it when his turn begins. We could also play the dagger here, but then we're still not going to Swordmaster. I think I want Swordmaster now, so let's do that. We can draw a card, or rather, we could draw a card with Dune the Desert Planet by going here. Actually, we'll draw a card when we go to Espionage. And unless we draw our dagger, that will give us 1 more persuasion. Now, Fade is going to end up with 1 water, and will likely want to go to Deep Desert, so we could put our spy there to earn 1 spice when he does so. But this is a tricky place to place a spy, if only because having 3 water is not something that happens very often. I'd rather it go onto one of these 2 spaces. So the question is, do I place it here, because I'm guessing that Fade will get the guaranteed 3rd water after this battle, and we gain a spice for that? Or do I instead place it on something that more people are likely to hit over the course of the game? How badly do I need 1 spice? I'll do it. We can always move it later if we have a chance to... if we have to deploy like a 4th spy, and this doesn't seem that appealing to leave it on anymore. Ah. And there went Truth's Trance all the same. So we would not have gotten it unless we played our dagger here before taking the Swordmaster, and then revealed somehow before Lady Amber Batuli. I don't think it literally was in the cards for us to get that Truth's Trance. Well, the Reliable Informant gives me another spy. It also gives me faction access, because it lets me go to the guild. So I think we're going to grab this. Dangerous Rhetoric is decent. It can go to any spy spot, and we can trash it out of our deck to gain one faction bump. But I think I'd rather have the Informant at this point. And now what do I want to do? Do I want more Persuasion? Or do I decide I want to begin trashing cards? Both of these I think are decent. We're probably never going to the Fremen spot. But our deck doesn't consist of too many good cards right now. Not enough that, well... I think I'll grab one single Prepare the Way. Once again, it's for the 2 Persuasion. Or once again, we're taking it for the 2 Persuasion. Now, when I place the bond, it is often the case that I only have 1 victory point up until turn 5. Just as a heads up, viewers. And everyone's getting water, some people are getting their cards removed, which is exactly what I want. Maybe we should have committed to that last battle. But we wouldn't have had Swordmaster if we hadn't done it. In the base game and its DLCs, Swordmaster was very important to get as soon as possible. And it was not uncommon for people to begin taking it at turn 2. Consistently. Money flowed more freely in that version of the game. Also, in the base game, it didn't get cheaper after you purchased it. It remained at 8 Solari for every other player that went there. And almost no one went High Council. It was very rare in the base game to do so. These spaces were also this board is different in the base game. This doesn't exist in the High Council. You go there once and you never go there again. At least here, there's a reason to go to High Council another time. So what do I want to do? We have 6 Persuasion. If we can get 2 more, we can actually get Overthrow. We won't be revealing first, so we do have to be a little worried about what our opponents will be up to. But I think to start, we use our dagger to go here, we get a Treachery, we get 1 Persuasion, and we'll remove our spy to draw a card. And if we end up with 8 Persuasion, viewer, we may just reveal in order to just grab this. This is extremely nice. It's very tempting for Staban to get Overthrow. That solves some of his faction issues. So let's at least start by going here, because I definitely want to go here. We will draw a card. Wow, and by access, we spend 5 Solari, we choose 2 faction spots, and we can go up on those by 1. That's a nice one for him to have too, because once again, it's solving some of his faction access. And we have the Persuasion that we need to get Overthrow. We can probably risk actually using Signet Ring as our next action, and then reveal. This is because the AI tends never to reveal early, so I'm not too concerned about them grabbing this before me. This will never be the case against other players. If Overthrow's out here, and players are not just brand spanking new, they will reveal to grab this as quick as they can. The same with Steersman. Those are the only 2 8-point cards I believe in the entire deck that's available, and they're both fantastic cards. You absolutely want them if you can get them, no matter who you are. What I'm thinking we're going to do is we will use our signet ring to go to Spice Refinery and sell the one spice we grabbed because someone went to Deep Desert. It will give us most of what we need for buy access. And that will let me, if I use buy access, we can bump our Bene Gesserit up one rank, which will then prepare the way actually begin drawing us a card. So I think that will be the plan. While I would like to get involved in this battle as well, that's not happening. We only have one troop. We might tie Fade, but I'm not expecting to do that. And I'd have to make the decision now, because I want to reveal before any of my opponents reveal. Just in case they can possibly get overthrow. So let's go here. Sell that one spice. Place our spy. Oh, I guess we could... No, we don't have any spice to sell. We could spend... No, I don't want to spend 2 Solari to draw a Treachery card. But I will put this here. We picked up Guild Spy or Guild Informant? Reliable Informant. So I want the option to be able to go here with it. I'm not going to spend the Solari for this. We're not going to deploy a troop. We'll end our turn. I thought for 1 second, for some reason I had 7, 7 not 8 persuasion over there. Now, it is unlikely anyone can get overthrow. It is very unlikely that is the case. But it might be possible for some reasons I have not considered. Something, I guess we'll talk about this for a little bit. We're going to tangent a bit. There's 2 things I want to talk about very briefly. Or not so briefly. Number 1, good players will pay attention to what their opponents have in their discard, what cards they've purchased as well, and keep track of what intrigues might be available. I'm not a good player, so I don't do that. I just look at what I have in my hand, and once my turn rolls around, and I think to myself, okay, what's the best thing I can do at this point in the game? And I don't ever really concern myself with the cards opponents have purchased. This is why we probably won't be doing very well in ranked, but I don't care. But still, keep that in mind. You can actually make some really smarter decisions than what you'll see me do by paying attention to what other people are playing and what possibilities they have in their hand if you begin tracking what cards that they've purchased. Something else which I've touched on briefly is that I'd rather be lucky than good. This game, as we've now seen, has a decent amount of RNG in it. Your deck, the moment you begin playing the game, you're going to draw 5 random cards from it. There's no guarantee you'll ever get the cards that you need at any time when you begin drawing cards from your deck. And the intrigue cards are also, of course, random. You don't know what you're going to get from them either. As such, this game is not chess. It is not checkers. It is not Connect 4. It is not tic-tac-toe. It is not a game that you lose based on your own merit. It is a game that you will lose sometimes based solely upon if the game hates you or not. Always assume that your opponent has the cards they need to do things that you wanted to do every single turn. It's why I'm thinking someone up here has 8 persuasion already somehow. Because maybe they do, and they'll take this card, which is a card I really want. Every intrigue they possess is always something that gives them more points than you at the end of the game, and or something that gives them combat and beats you in combat when they use it every single time. You will never have the cards you need. Your first hand will always be the worst hand compared to what everyone else's is, and everyone has every intrigue card that they could possibly need whenever they need it, and you never will. That's the way you should look at this game. That's what I tell myself to help keep myself from being so sad when RNG rears its head and says, "Not today, Tim." And that happens pretty frequently. Alright. Just want to get that out of the way. Now, we are not... I almost played another card and I almost went here. That would have been a giant mistake. Let's go ahead. We're not going to spend our other agent. Yeah, I know we picked him up. I know we should use him. But even if... Actually, no, we shouldn't. Because if I do spend him to go somewhere, we don't have 7 persuasion anymore. I'd have to go to where a card is, like Arakeen, or Accept Contract. And if I went to one of those, there's no guarantee I grab any of these 4 cards that have 1 persuasion. We may grab a dagger instead, in which case we lose this. So we will reveal. And we will grab Overthrow. Overthrow gives us a Intrigue card, and we got Detonation. This plot allows us to detonate the shield wall, or to deploy 4 troops from our reserves to the conflict. It is not a combat card though, so once I hit end turn, I am done with my reveal phase, and I will not be able to use this for the rest of this round. If Overthrow, and no one had the persuasion to take it, if Overthrow had not been revealed, I would have instead played another card and aimed to grab Stilgar. Stilgar also gets a little bit of faction access, being able to go to the Fremen, and he's a really decent card. Lets you gain 2 troops for using him. Something you do need to consider when you have Swordmaster is the desire and the need to play that 3rd agent exists at that point. The temptation does, to always do so, and you probably should. But that also means you're using more of your cards and will have less persuasion or extra combat strength added to you during the fight. Maybe it was a good thing that we put the spice here, because people are going to have more water. And Lady Amber Batuli, I think she has the ability to go for worms? She does. Okay. Ah, okay, so she detonates the shield wall. That means that we don't have to worry about blowing up the shield wall again with detonation. I don't even know what happens if you try to do it a second time. Okay, let's use our double agent to go to Haga Basin. We're not... I kind of feel like we need troops. But I also want this spice first. I don't think this is going to be here if I don't take it. Someone else is going to go here and grab this now. As tempting as it is to grab Harvest, and Harvest, by the way, says that you can go anywhere with any place where you decide at the end of the activation to get spice. If you have earned 3 or more spice, you earn $3. I think there's 2 3 harvests and 1 4 harvest, and the 4 harvest gives you $4 instead of 3. That includes, by the way, if you go to a spot that gives you 2 spice, and we had an intrigue card that let us gain 1 spice if we used it, we could then do that, and we'd still meet the qualifications for harvest. It's gain 3 spice by going to a spot on the board. Whether or not it comes off that spot or not, or you assist it in other means, that's still allowed. I think, though, this won't be here, once again, if I don't go here now. And I guess I wouldn't mind having that spice. So we will do that. Plus it lets me put a spy on this spot, which is a more reliable place to have a spy for Staban's passive than the Deep Desert is. We could add our 1 troop to the battle. I guess we'll do that. Why not? We'll at least stop Fade from getting 3rd, perhaps. Oh, that's a shame. Okay. Well, I want to go there. And I wanted to draw a card as well, but that's not going to happen for us now. Because we have to use our spy to play Reliable Informant. But we will get the spy back. So let's go ahead and play him here. Now, the spy we get from him can't go onto a guild space. It has to go someplace else. Let's put it here on the Fremen spot. Oh, Guild Spy was out there. I should talk about Guild Spy at some point. Guild Spy, by many, is considered a very overpowered card. I don't think it is. I think it's a perfectly fine card. It requires a bit of work in order to have it really, for yourself to benefit from it. It is very powerful. It is very powerful, but once again, it requires some setup for it to work. And your opponents have to let that setup happen as well. Saban is actually a great player to stop that from happening, given his easy access to spies with his ring. So at the moment, if we reveal and we haven't used our dagger, we will get third, which is fine. It means we rob it from Fade. But that means not using the dagger, which means that the only place we can go to is accept contract, which means we draw a card, which I don't want to do because I don't want to see overthrow in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's about a 15% chance or so that we see that card in our hand. It's not a very good chance, but it does exist. I think we will go to accept contract, though. Actually, hold on, let me think about this. Okay, if I go to accept contract, and we draw any card but the dagger, that gives me at least 2 persuasion, enough to buy one of these 2 cards. Which at this point in the game, I think we do take one of them. I do like an undercover asset, so we should take it. It gives me a chance to explain this card in particular. I guess having Overthrow in her hand isn't god-awful, but oh, you want to play that whenever you get a chance, not have it sit around. We'll hope we don't draw it. Right, we did not. We got another dagger, which is also not quite what I wanted to see. It is more likely that we will complete Harvest than Research Station, because I don't think well, we might get another water and be able to go there. You know what? I will take Research Station. Okay, and we'll end our turn. And now but we drew a dagger, so we don't get anything. We get to pick up nothing. Okay, well, that's that. I guess the good news is that the dagger's going to not be seen next turn. We'll likely have a good amount of persuasion next turn. Oh, I meant to mention this about intrigue cards, but I didn't. I don't think I did last game we played. Note that the game is waiting for me to take a turn. We don't have a combat card, but the game's not just passing automatically for us. We have intrigues, which means that we can pretend that we have a combat intrigue and we're thinking about using it. Very useful to at least delay playing an intrigue. It does make everyone second guess how strong your actual combat strength will be. Now, as I mentioned, very frequently, Staban, by turn 5, only has 1 victory point. He hasn't earned anything yet. It is difficult for him to earn points. The game could be ending in another 2 turns, and we might be getting last. Let's hope that won't be the case. Okay, we have Overthrow, so there's no reason why we shouldn't use it. I think we should go here to Sadakar with it. We'll earn 2 points with the Emperor, and we'll gain 4 troops to replenish our supplies and gain another Treachery. Arguably, the spice might be useful to help us go to other places, or sell it for more money, which will let us go to High Council, but I think I'd rather begin having more troops. So, let's go here. Overthrow gains us 2 faction when we use it as well. Oh, questionable methods. We gain 1 sword, we can choose to go down with a faction, and then we can earn 4 more swords. With detonation, we can deploy 4 troops into the conflict and threaten to win this as well if I so desire, but I don't really think I need it quite yet. Let's end our turn. Also, by having this friendship, we now have access to Imperial privilege if we so desire. I think we'll go to Spice Refinery, earn only $2. And we'll go there with reconnaissance at the moment, because I'm not quite sure where else I want to go yet. With that $2, we can use we can then spend it on buy access, taking a point with the guild and the Bene Gesserit, which will get us 2 more points, and also unlock Prepare the Ways. We get to draw a card if we use it. Let's do that. Do I want to deploy some troops? I think we deploy 2 troops. And then... oh, well, actually, we have a choice here. We could use buy access, or we could spend that 5 on High Council, using our Signet Ring to get us 2 persuasion. No, I think I'll pass on that at the moment. Let's do this. We're falling behind all the other players for points. We need to fix that. Always try to keep up with the Joneses. You don't want to fall behind if possible. Since Fade has no combat intrigues, he is gonna get last in this fight. Gaining back a troop, earning 1 spice, and getting an intrigue, that's fantastic for 2 troops. Now, what do I want to do? If we play Prepare the Way, we will draw our convincing argument to make up for the 2 persuasion we don't have currently. We could then dip into our discard pile and draw a card from this, but I am nervous about getting one of these 2. Actually, no, I am not. Okay, so at this point, if I draw 2 cards, it means our discard will be part of the new deck. It means that the cards we currently have in our hand, we won't see for a little bit, for at least 1 turn. I think I wouldn't mind having Overthrow again, though, so I don't think I want to draw a second card. Just 1. If I go here with Prepare the Way, we gain another Treachery, we go up to 6 Persuasion. That could give us a Truth Trance and an Uncover Asset, both of which I like. But we're running into trouble because our deck's getting pretty fat. We have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I really won't want another card. We will need to start trashing cards. Or having more consistent card draw. But I don't really feel like I have any other really great options. We could use a signet ring and move... Well, actually, 2 people have spice water now, enough to go here. Maybe they'll go here next turn. There's going to be 2 extra spice here. That's really tempting for them to do. So we will actually just leave that there. Let's use a prepare the way. We'll go here, draw a treachery, get a persuasion. Or we go there with our signet ring. Do I really want to move a spy? Where would I move a spy? I don't think I would. No, we'll use a prepare the way. Special mission. We can immediately use this to gain a spy on a blue spot, or remove a spy we've placed already in order to gain 2 spice. It might be useful to watch and see if anyone goes here on Deep Desert, and then use it to get rid of the spy we have there and gain 2 spice. So we won't play it yet. Let's just end our turn. Two trance is basically a diplomacy, and we're going to go and grab it. Priority contracts replaces it, but this is not useful to us. We haven't even completed that 1 contract we have, and we need 4 contracts to really benefit from it. Undercover asset lets you go to a spot on the board without meeting the faction requirements of it. In other words, you can go here, here, or here without needing the required 2 faction influence. This normally is pretty good, but it's not really that great for us, I guess. Not really, because we've got the 2 persuasion with all these people already. And we're likely... I'm going to spend the next overthrow here, probably, to get us 2 more faction, which would then allow us to go here if I want to go there in the future. I guess if we can use it to go here and just bypass this as an option altogether, which would get us maker hooks, which might be useful to us. So I think I've just talked myself into buying it. Let's get it. There's no reason to play this. We don't take first if we do. And we don't really need 1 Bene Gesserit, the Ornithopter, and another Treachery. Even if we could. Actually, we're gonna get in... Oh, no! Okay, well, we just grabbed another Treachery card, which means we have 4. Let's... I don't think the AI is gonna immediately grab... secrets, but it could. I think it's gonna go here first. I'm confident they're going to go to these spaces. I am very, very confident about that. Okay, well, we picked up Counselor's Ambition as another Treachery for getting 2nd place. This is the only Treachery, Intrigue, for going there. This is the only Intrigue card I'm aware of that gives you water, but we have to go here if we want to actually use it. My thoughts are going here and grabbing 2 spice, but we'll give a spice to Shaddam if we do that. We could go here with Prepare the Way, sell the 1 spice we have, gain enough money to go to High Council, but I have to spend our only blue-green to do that. We might gain a blue, we might gain a green. But it's like a 33% chance we do. So not the best chance we can get the High Council afterwards. I guess we could wait and see. We could go to, I also do want to spend one of these right now, so that they can't really take advantage of us. I mean, we could use Overthrow to go to the Bene Gesserit secret spot, in which case we draw we will draw 2 more intrigue cards and get their alliance. We also stop, well, we don't stop Amber Mutilli from going there because she has a spy. Do I care about these? I kind of want Spice, viewer. I really do. And High Council. Do I care about winning this battle? Not particularly. No, honestly, no. I really don't. I don't care. Oh, I should mention this because it's taking us a while. I think I've mentioned, but against players online, we're on a time limit. We would have used up that time limit by now for our current turn, and the AI then takes over and does your turn for you. You're always on a timer for any of the moves that are transpiring. In combat, for example, if you're looking at your intrigues, a timer will eventually begin ticking, and you'll hear the tick-tock sound, and see a little bar beginning to decrease. Make sure you finish taking your turn before that occurs, or that's it for you. And odds are you're going to be really upset with what the AI decides to do. It might do what you want. It's not guaranteed it's going to do what you want. I think we kind of have to use Overthrow. And I feel like we definitely want the Fremen. That's Spice, though, Tim. That's Spice. We'll hope it's still there in the future. We'll hope it's still there in the future. Oh, you know what? We can draw 2 cards, and I don't see why not. Let's do it. Well, there's our green access that we might not have had earlier. A dagger and a double agent. I think we will use detonation, and well, do I really care, Tim? I care enough to deploy some troops to this battle. Let's do that. I'm not going to spend any of these. I'm going to hold on to my 4. The AI takes one, so be it. Alright, there goes one of the spice. That's right, there goes one of the spice. There goes a player to a spot to get spice. Okay, we are losing a card. Which one do we lose? We lose detonation, so there goes our... We can put troops in whenever we would like. Winning this is not critical for me. I'm fine with just 2 people. All the spice is still around as well, Tim. Let's send our double agent here. You have Truth Trance, Tim. It's a shame not to use Truth Trance on something. Oh, we can actually do this as well, which is what I wanted to do. Though everyone else still has 3 water, so maybe leaving this guy here is not a bad idea. Maybe we do continue to leave him here. You want to do that, Tim? Just leave him there. What would I want to do? We need money. If I want to go to High Council. Let's make the effort to do it. We'll go here, sell a spice, and that will have to do. Oh, but I didn't want to use prepare. Actually, maybe I did. I guess I did. Do I commit more troops to this? Do I want to win this battle? I don't feel like I need to win. Second is fine, but we might have to commit another troop to get second. I'm okay committing another troop. Oh, there's the back by Chome I had mentioned earlier. Back by Chome, not Chome Security or something. And I don't know why she did that. That looks like that was a mistake. So she earned money, lowered her reputation with someone, and then didn't spend the money she earned. She should have gone here, or to High Council. Maybe, I guess she didn't have a green in hand. Okay, so we will use double agent to go here. We'll send a spy there. I might want to go to Imperial Privilege or High Council again in the future. It would probably be Imperial Privilege. I don't know if we're getting any more money. And we'll immediately gain the water. And oh, someone did go here. Okay, I thought they would. Do I remove someone to earn 2 more spice? Why I don't need that spice at this very moment. No. We're all tied at 5 points at the moment. And none of us are gaining a point at the resolution of this. Oh, we're tying Shaddam for second, though. Ooh, this is bad. We definitely didn't want third for 3 troops, but it is far too late. Corinth City shows up. It's an interesting one. Discard 2 cards, spend 5 Solari, you get a victory point. And if you, it gives you nothing when you reveal it except for some Solari. But our deck is pretty big. I feel like that, well, but also it's turn 6. So, we're not likely to see anything we buy at this point in the game. I feel Prepare the Way is probably the best thing for us at this point in the game. Oh, yeah, and Matilda's already revealed. Did she have, by the way, did she have a green? Oh, I can't tell. I can't tell by that, but we could tell by this. She did not, so she had no way to get here on her turn. I mean, I guess this lets me go to places I have spies and makes opponents discard, which is decent. I don't really want it at this stage in the game. No, I don't think we take anything with our 6. We're good. I guess we can gain 1 sword. to tie Fade, which means Fade and I get this reward, and Shaddam's the only one to get 2. I kind of like that better. It means if Fade has a combat card, he may also play it, so we'll use questionable methods. Let's see if you're up for the task, Fade. Aha! He wants first. This is perfect. I wanted second. I don't care about first. And Carino's not willing to spend a combat intrigue if he has one. Okay, there's the question mark I talked about as a token, as a combat symbol. If we earn that at the end of the game, when someone has earned 10 points, including us, and we don't have another question mark or another dagger, because that would remove our current dagger, this will automatically match with our dagger and earn us another point. There's several places I want to go. I would not mind having maker hooks at this point in the game. Going here would give it to us. I don't know if we'll get a chance to actually utilize it, though. Maybe. I would definitely want to win this battle if I decide I want maker hooks. But other people have spice. They can go to highliner if they have an option to do that. And they all have their own maker hooks, which means these are tempting spaces to get worms. I suppose we can use special mission right now, pull a spy off of, say, this spot. Actually, it would be this spot. And then get to spice, which gives me enough for highliner, and we go there with our rogue informant and then deploy everything we've got. I think I like that. Let's do it. Okay. We have to place this spy. Or we don't have to place a spy. We could simply not do so. But we will place him. There's no reason not to. On one of these 2 places? I guess we'll place him on the Emperor spot. And we commit everything. Amber finally gets her Swordmaster. We earned a spice because he went there. Now, I would love to get a worm in this battle, but we cannot do that. We need maker hooks to do that. And if I want maker hooks, that means we're using undercover asset because it's our only blue card. We have, well, I guess we could, well, yeah, we have to go here for maker hooks, and then we are out of options as to where we can go next. We would have needed our ring, and I don't see a way in which that's occurring. Or we need money, but we need a card to go for money after we get the maker hooks. We need to play 2 more rounds, and we can't do 2 more rounds. Oh, or can we? Hold on. Well, no, we can, but not in the order I would want. We could play undercover asset to here to get 2 more troops and draw 2 cards, which gives us our ring, for example. But then I could get maker hooks, but then I still can't get to deep. Actually, we wouldn't be able to get to deep desert anyway because we don't have yeah, we need a spy here that we can have withdrawn so we can get the maker hooks and draw a card, which is our ring, and then go here so we can deploy a worm. But that's not going to happen. I guess technically I don't need this twice. Once is good enough. So I guess the question is, Tim, do you want... If we go here, we also get money because we have that 1 contract there. That's 3 enough for this. But I don't really need Imperial Privilege at this point. I don't think I need to deploy any more troops. I doubt anyone else is heavily committing to this battle. We're not going to win another battle, I think, after this, though, as well, Tim. This is the only battle for you. I feel like it's very important for us to get this question mark. But then we need to get points somehow after this. That's going to be tricky for us. Because my deck is not very good. Let's get our maker hooks. I will not deploy that troop. Amber's has some sort of scheme up her sleeve. She's thinking about what she wants to do. That also does stop us from going there. Oh, you know, well, if we went there, we could have drawn 2 cards, but that doesn't help us. That wouldn't have helped us. People are stealing alliances from each other, so we get a chance to see what that's like. Oh no! Uh-oh. Fate is committing to this. You know what? Oh no, I don't have money. That's why I can't do that and get a worm in the battle. Okay. I am nervous Fate's got a fantastic intrigue card. And/or enough combat strength to still beat us. That would really suck. But there's not much I can do about it with just a single dagger. We don't have the strength we need. I think we'll go here to get a treachery card and see if it's a combat intrigue. It is not a combat intrigue. But it is one that lets me kind of secure public spectacle, which could be nice. Not that we'll really take advantage of that. We probably should have gone here at some point and gotten those 2 cards so we could buy a Spice Must Flow. Everyone's getting points, and we are not winning. Oh, it's really close. Actually, I think we still lost. We lost. Fade beat us. Oh, what the heck, Fade? No? This must be a combat card, then. Fade Rafa Harkonnen always has the option as one of his passive, as his passive, to remove a spy off the board to gain 2 swords. If he decided he wanted to use that ability, he'd be at 15 and would have beaten us. But I guess he didn't want to remove that spy. Where is his spy? Here. That's a bad place, Fade, for you to leave a spy. This is probably the AI, because it's on medium difficulty, not doing the wisest course of action and removing that. So I think we take public spectacle. And that's it. Ah! How did she go there? She had a spy there? She had a spy. Okay, Lady Amber might win. She does. Oh, okay, so we have lost. We are not going to win this game. Let's hope that we can get at least second. We have no way to get another troop in the battle. We should have added this troop. We didn't add that troop. We didn't commit it. We should have committed it. We did not. Okay, well, that cost us the game. 8 troops for 3 spice. That's terrible. that is really bad. And leverage is not the card we wanted to see. Well, we can go back to Highliner again with Reliable Informant and try to win this one instead. I guess we're going to make the attempt. It's the only way we're going forward with this. I don't think we have really another option. We have to win this fight. I'm not going to use the spice for anything else, so let's do it. We can place a spy, but I don't think on one of these places. You know what? I think we will do this in the end. We'll remove it from here and place it here. And we go all in. Darn her, I wanted that. Actually, I guess I can take it. I can use Public Spectacle to go there. Yeah, we can use Public Spectacle to go there. And Shaddam has 8 points. Let's use our Signet Ring to go here. We will move a spy from here to here. Or do you want it here, Tim? Well, you know what? I'll place it here. I intend to go to these two places. To Imperial Privilege and to Spice Refinery. If we can win this battle, we can get 3 points total. So we have a chance to get second, I think. Lady Amber Matilde has Strike Fleet, but thankfully she has no way to use it to get more... Oh! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, she's winning! She's gonna win this too! She's gonna go here. With... Oh no, she can't... Well, she could go here with Strike Fleet. She could go here with Strike Fleet, and... Well, but she can't deploy the troops she earns. She still might beat us on combat, though. We don't really have a whole lot of combat options. Alright, Public Spectacle for us. I'm sorry, yeah, and here is where we're placing it. We could go up a rank with something. We can secure our guild alliance, or begin reaching... Actually, we can't get any other alliances. Actually, we could maybe get Bene Gesserit, but it's not likely to happen. I think I'd rather have this be safer. We draw a card. Double agent. We will trash leverage. A combat intrigue. Darn it! Darn you! Now I wish I had the extra point to the Bene Gesserit, because this would give us 5 combat strength, not 3. But it is too late, and I have to remove a different agent. We don't want to move this one, because Lady Amber has 3 water, and she could go here to add more of her troops and more worms to the fight. Oh, she's going to add 3 more troops to the battle. And she gets even more cards. Good for her. We're tying. We need to win, but I don't know how we do that with what we have. We don't have any more troops. I guess we go here to put in 1 more troop, but then we're only getting 2 points from this. As opposed to going here. Actually, we don't have the money anyway. Never mind. Never mind. I need this one combat strength. I need that one combat strength. So we go here. We take a troop and another water, and we deploy that troop. We can't let her take it. She's gonna buy a spice must flow. Oh, she can deploy more troops. Okay, we're still tying. We actually have to use our intrigue if we want to win. Good for her. My goodness, this is terrifying. And she wins if we don't beat her. We have not yet bought in a spice must flow. We had eight persuasion once. Our deck is just too full of 1 persuasion cards for us to reliably get it. Nothing. No, nothing. Actually, Bene Gesserit Operative will get us more persuasion if for some reason we have it in our hand. I guess technically you're 2 as well, but I don't think we're ever seeing you. Sorry, Matilli, but we have enough. But now I don't know how we win. I don't know how we win this game. And this hand's an awful hand because we don't have we have 2 daggers, which doesn't really do much for us. And there goes the alliance there. So we can't get that now. And Shaddam's looking very strong. I feel like we need to go to Imperial Basin for the spice to possibly give us Highliner yet again. Although I would like to not go there with Overthrow. I wanted to go to the Bene Gesserit with Overthrow instead to get the Alliance, but now that's not happening. We don't have the persuasion to buy a card either. We did not get a decent hand for that. My choice is, do I want Spice for potentially Highliner? Or do I just give up on this? Which I think we do. I think we just give up on Highliner. If we can get Truth Trance in our hand, we can send 2 agents here, possibly. You know what? Let's try it. If we use Overthrow here and don't remove the Spy... Oh, but Fade has 2 water. He might go here. No one's probably going to Espionage. Probably. Probably. So I think we can go here, get 2 troops, draw 2 cards. Hopefully one of them is our Truth Trance. We need it to be Truth Trance because I need to go here with 2 cards. But I'm also not winning the game this round. Unless we, like, win this battle and have a worm in the fight. And I can't do that. I don't think we're winning the fight. Amber doesn't have the spice she needs to go to Highliner. Or she has no water. If I go here with Undercover Asset, we get the spice I need for Highliner. But then I'm not getting a worm in the battle, and I need a worm if I want to win. And if I go here, I spend 1 water, which means I'm not going to Research Station. I don't have money for Imperial Privilege. I can only get 1 point this turn. It's not possible for me to get more. And I'd have to... Well, like, hold on. So you don't give me any persuasion. So if I go here with you, I get 2 cards that give me 1 persuasion. But I'm spending overthrow and one of those cards. Yeah, we're not getting... You know what? I'm just going to do it. You sure, Tim? This is all the water. I'm doing it. We did draw Truce Trance. Oh, we completed our contract. I completely forgot about that. Sure. We get. I forgot we had a contract there for the entirety of the game. All right. We get a spy. Someone is probably going to go here. Or here for that spice. We'll go here for it. And we're going all in with our 2 massive troops. He didn't have Highliner access. But we don't either. We need 2 more spice, and we cannot get 2 more spice. Is this really the final fight? Is this what it comes down to? two troops? So what are our options? Lady Amber still has more things she can do. She has 2 more agents. Fade and Shaddam are done. I can't take the alliance from Amber Mutili, but we can take it from Shaddam. If I use Overthrow and go here to the same spot to Secrets, what's this? It's a reconnaissance. We have 3 spice. We could spend the spice here to get $5 and bump ourselves up on this for the last 3rd point. We could go here with Dune the Desert Planet, get $5, bump 1 up with the Bene Gesserit. We could then use a dagger to draw another card and pray we can get a 9th somehow. I don't know how. You have to draw 2 more cards. And you're losing 1. You have to draw... No, it's... Well, we have to draw 2 cards. Which I can't do unless I go here and spend 1 spice, which means I'm not going here. So what? I draw 2 cards? And also, but I'm using Overthrow, so we're losing 3 persuasion to do that, so no. So we can't buy Spice Must Flow. We have to win the battle and take this alliance if I want to win. If I go here with Overthrow, we get 2 cards, which steals 1 from Shaddam. Oh, we get 3 cards. We steal 1 from Shaddam, we earn 1 for going here, we earn 1 from the 4th rank. We're going to do that. Let's hope we get some sort of combat intrigue. Any one of these 3. No, none of them. They're all trash. These are all trash. These are trash. These are trash. I guess Special Mission isn't trash. That gives us 2 spice, which lets us actually go to Highliner if I so desire. But then we're giving up on this alliance. So we're saying we'll win this battle. Actually, if we win the battle, we could also remove 2 spies, which will earn us 2 points. And we match the battle icon, so we earn 3. So maybe we can do that? Let's see what Lady Amber's going to do. She's taking Highliner. We have lost a battle. We cannot win. We cannot win the fight. Because we can't go there. Okay, but we still might win. But it's going to be a really awkward victory. Let's talk about it briefly. So first off, we can go here with Truce Trance. Spend 1 spice, we draw 1 card, we just get the reconnaissance, and place a spy anywhere on the board. We'd place it, I guess, on the here. And although we're at 8 points, we would have still... Well, we'll be at 9 points, because we'll steal the alliance from Shaddam. No matter what, we have to get it. We're going here or here. We need the alliance for the 9th point. Lady Amber will earn 1 from this. 1 point, so she'll be at 9. She hasn't revealed yet, though. She's an extra person, so she might get a Spice Must Flow. So let's assume she has 10. 11 with this match. Alright, so she has 11. We'll have 9. We can't buy 1. The game ends. And we match 1. No, we don't match any. No, Tim, no. You don't have a question mark. No. You get this point. Because, no, you won't get that point either, Tim. You don't have 4 rank. It's here that you have it's here that gives you a point. No, we get 2nd. If we earn any. We get 2nd. And combat entries wouldn't have helped us unless we had both the spice one that gives us 6 swords for 3 spice, and Spring the Trap, where we can remove 2 units to gain 6 strength. That would have let us beat her. But even then, she has 4 and probably has combat, so we're not winning. We will earn another intrigue. That might be a victory point. That might be a victory point, assuming we're able to take 2nd. We could also go here and just say, you know what, we're just gonna... We get a victory point for this anyway, so we don't need to steal it from Shaddam. In fact, maybe we just wait on that. In all honesty, actually, the more I think about it, the more I think that should be the case. And we just go here and hope for some sort of other card that gives us points. So we'll do that instead. Although if we do that, we tie with Shaddam, and Shaddam beats us on Spice. So actually, we should steal it from him. Yeah. We should steal it from him if we want 2nd place. We have to steal it from him. And it doesn't matter where the spy goes. It really doesn't. We'll put it here to stop anyone else from getting Highliner next round, if there's another round, which I don't think there'll be, but there might be. I don't really want any of those, so... We are reshuffling, so I guess this is when I would want to get other 2-point... Like, I guess we do take it Prepare the Way? And that will do. Actually, he's also worth 2 persuasion. And lets us draw an intrigue card, so... No, I don't want him. I don't want him. We're done. So it doesn't end. We have a 10th round, I think. This is it! Okay, we have a 10th round! I thought it was definitely over then. It is not yet over. Okay, if we can get one more spice, we can get Highliner up and running. We have double agent, which is... Okay, yeah, okay, so I think if we also have Imperium Politics, by the way, which lets us earn 1 rank with Emperor or Guild. I think we go here and earn 1 spice to start. Alright, I think we do that. Like, no! That gives us 4. You need 2 more spice, Tim, to go to Highliner. We cannot get to spice. We cannot get 2 more spice. And we have nowhere near the persuasion we need in order to grab a spice must flow. You would need a water. So we have to go here first. But this is not going to be there when we come back. Someone is absolutely... Fade's going to take this for a worm or something. I guarantee it. I mean, so hold on. So we can use... We can use Reliable Informant, go here, get a water, secure this, say, hey, we are absolutely the guild's favorite. Draw a card. We could then go here, if it's even still around, and get the spice we need for Highliner. We wouldn't be deploying a worm then. We have to hope Fade doesn't take this if I want this strategy to work. Otherwise, our going for the water does nothing for us. Alternatively, we spend Reconnaissance to go here to get the water that we want. It lets us also throw in a troop for all the good that does us, which is really nothing. What else can we do? We can focus maybe on the Emperor. If we use Imperial Politics and spend 1 coin, we can up this 1 point, and we can go to accept dutiful service with Truce Trance to get the 4th rank, which then triggers Shadow Alliance. Oh, actually, hold on. No. Wait. We can use Special Mission first. We'll remove this spy, and now we can go to Highliner. So we'll use the Guild Informant to do that. If I leave the spy here, I prevent everyone else from putting a spy there. And I don't have to worry about anyone else grabbing Highliner. Or rather, I don't have to worry about Fade or Shaddam grabbing Highliner if I leave the spy there. The only way they might have a card that lets them put a spy there, or they might go to Espionage to put a spy there to take it. So I'm just going to leave the spy, even though the extra card would be normally very handy. Or no, yeah, hold on. I have something else. Yes, we will remove it. We then place this, we place this spy, I don't know, well, sure, we place it there, it's the only spot we can place it, and then we deploy all our troops. We then deployed 3 troops so we can use distraction and re-put the spy there again to stop anyone else from getting a spy there. Okay, and then I'll use Imperium politics. Actually, we can wait around on that. Let's wait around. Get out of here, Lady Amber Matuli. I hate you. I hate you so much. I don't want to see you at all in any more fights. I'm tired of fighting you. Oh, we still have to worry. We still have to contribute more troops to this, apparently. It is not over. Everyone's grabbing troops in any way they can. We have to get more troops into the fight. That's a shame. This is the only spot where I can add 1 more troop. And we won't even be able to use overthrow. I can't even use overthrow. Or maybe somehow we can. I can't let them get more troops in. I can't. We have to go here. We have to. We have to go here. We have to stop them. Actually, they can't get any more troops in. I just realized they had no other agents. Now, Lady Amber Matuli has enough money that she can go here to delay her actions. So if I go here first, I stop her. So we're going to do that. We're going to go here. We'll actually so my thought was we could use Imperium politics to gain 1 rank with the Emperor, and use Choose Trance to go here to gain another rank with Emperor, which doesn't take the Alliance, but it does let Shadow Alliance trigger. But I don't need that anymore because we have Overthrow in hand. So I can just go here with Overthrow if I care enough to take this. And I don't want Lady Amber going here. And maybe we can fish for a better intrigue. We'll also draw a card. So we will spend this to go here. The unfortunate thing is I have to remove now an agent from someplace on the board. But we'll remove from Highliner because Lady Amber Matuli is the only one who can still go, and she has no spice to be able to go there. First, let's trash Imperium politics. Oh, well, that's interesting. It's Siege Ritual. So this is like what we just had, only instead of spending 1 Solari to gain with Guild or Empire, we discard a card to gain 1 with, Fremen or Bene Gesserit. That's interesting. But it doesn't help us. We can't get another... So we could still do what we were just talking about, actually, if we had another agent. But we're only going to have 1 more left. We draw a card. It's our Signet Ring. We pull back this guy. It stops Lady Amber from contributing another dude to the fight. Oh, she can't even go anywhere. Okay. She had no ability to go anywhere else with her cards. That doesn't mean we've won. It could still be very bad for us. There goes Fade, spent using his Remove a Spy now to get 12 points. And he might have a way... He might have a way... I mean, he has a combat intrigue. We have no combat intrigues. So we can go here and add a worm to the battle, if we so desire. That gives us 3 more fighting strength to 15. Everyone's revealed, so unless they have a combat card, this is what it's going to be. But anybody can take our victory from us at this moment. We have no way to seriously defend it. Overthrow gets us 2, 3. We have 3 total additional combat strength we can add to the battle. I think we should admit we are probably not winning. But we could possibly... We could probably still keep this 3 combat strength and still trigger Shadow Alliance. If we use Siege Ritual, we could up our Fremen by 1 and then go here to get the next point up, which gives us the 4 that we need to trigger it. That makes it 10. But we're not beating Lady... Well, we'll have 11 with Shadow Alliance. So we don't have a choice, viewer. I think we're going to try it. So here we go. So it's going to be Siege Ritual for us. We discard our Signet Ring. And we'll go up on the Fremen. We then use Truce Trance on this. Oh, we do get another troop by that. That's true. We get another troop. I forgot about that. We will decline to scrap a card. Well, I guess we can scrap our ring. I mean, we don't have to. We can just decline. There's not going to be another round anyway. And then we add that troop to the battle. Okay, that will do. We reveal. We have 17. It is not likely. So, Fade could tie us. If he spends 3 spice to earn 6 swords, he would tie us. So neither of us would get first. Which means we're ending the game with no one getting 10 points. Everyone will have just 9. Lady Amber Batuli will have earned 1 point at least with this. And she might earn another with this. We will earn 1 point with Shadow Alliance. And we'd have to hope Lady Batuli can't get another point, as we could tie her with our spice that we'll earn from getting second. Assuming Fade can even has the card I'm talking about, which he might. Let's, do I want any of this? No. Let's end our turn. Shadam, you made me really nervous, but... Oh, he's taking second, is what he's doing there. Everyone's using a bunch of cards, but no one had the strength to beat us. It's still going to be close. Lady Amber Batuli can still win, because she's getting 1 point from this, and we're only earning 1 point from this battle. We'll have an 11th, but she might have an 11th, and then she'll beat us on Lotaeri tiebreaker if it comes to that. Showing Prophets does not help Shadam. She wins! Oh, I meant to hit view board, not continue. Oh, darn it! Okay, I wanted to see what she had just played. I think she had a card in hand that matched her unmatched... so she had a question mark that matched one of her symbols, and a card in hand that matched another, that gave her a victory point at the end of the game. So then we both tied at 11. We then went to our spice next, and we both had none. We then go to Lotaeri third, and she had more than us, so she won. Good for the AI. Very good. Very good game. And that's why I also I don't have any problems fighting the medium difficulty AI. It beats me, viewer. It beats me. Only got us like a 75% win rate with it. All right. Well, that does it for us. I hope it was entertaining to watch. That was a super close last game. I am more than happy with the result of that. I think we did rather well given what we had in hand. We were never able to get enough persuasion to buy another Spice Must Flow at any time either. It's interesting. We should have been trashing some of our weaker cards. And maybe I should have bought a few more preparing the ways. Maybe I could have done that differently. But anyway, we are done. Thank you guys for watching. And next one of these videos you will see on this playlist will be us doing ranked. I will see you guys then. Take care, everyone.